MSRP 38,305. Forte LXS RE 780 169 MSRP 21,820. Includes all rebates and incentives. Must finance through Hyundai. Excludes tax title and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 6/30/2024 with approved credit. Dealer stock only. Hey Jeff, I hear you got the Kia Summer Sticker Sales event going on right now at Gossett Kia South on Mount Moriah. Give me some scoop.
Randy, the scoop is I'm ready to put you in a new Kia for less. 2024 Kia Forte LXS 41 MPG Highway, $199 a month. $34.99 due at signing. How about a 2024 Kia Telluride LX 357 a month? $39.99 due at signing, 24-month lease.
Plus 0% for 48 months on 2024 EV9. And every Gossett Kia comes with a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty.
So whether you live in Horn Lake, South Haven, Olive Branch, or Memphis, you'll be happy at Gossett Kia South on Mount Moriah.
Gossett Kia South, 2680 Mount Moriah, or online anytime. KiaMountMoriah.com. This summer, click into easier yard cleanup with same-day delivery from the Home Depot. Into clearing overgrown grass or weeds with effortless gas-like power. And click into the convenience of a battery platform compatible with over 250 tools with the Milwaukee M18 fuel trimmer, now for just $199. Marty McNate at Gossett Volkswagen Germantown is turning back prices to give you the best deal in this decade.
I gave you orders to turn back time with the 2024 Volkswagen Jetta SE. We got it for $249 a month, and it gets 42 miles per gallon highway. That's much better than my DeLorean, Randy.
You got that right, Marty McNate. And I hear at Gossett Volkswagen Germantown, you got choices.
Take your pick from 2024 Tiguan S front-wheel drive or 2024 Teos SE for $279.28 a month.
Great Scott, McNate. That's Gossett Volkswagen Germantown on Winchester Road. Plus, get 0% for 60 months on Taos.
Your future's whatever you make of it, Randy, so get to Gossett Volkswagen Germantown, 7420 Winchester Road, or shop online at GossettVWG.com.
It's time to get up and get your day started.
Morant. Oh! A jawbreaker!
It's Sports 56 Mornings with Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. The first hour of Sports 56 Mornings is brought to you by the Big Green Egg. Now, here are your hosts, Greg and Eli.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome in to Sports 56 Mornings, final week here in the month of June. As the 4th of July holiday just around the corner, it's also draft week. The NBA draft now 2 days in duration. Will begin on Wednesday, and all eyes around this area, of course, are fixated on what the Grizzlies may do. We hope you had a fantastic weekend. Tried to stay as cool as you could. We got another scorcher today, and it will be hot once again this week, but it comes with the territory. Welcome in, Greg Gaston, Eli Savoy, Zach Boyd with you on this Monday, June 24th, 2025. Make that 2024. Getting ahead of myself. We are in the Family Leisure Studios. Family Leisure, where family and fun come together. Located at 2120 Whitten Road, just north of I-40. They have everything you need for a fantastic summer, and they say it's time to party. You can party on over to Family Leisure. Check out the above-ground pools. Great deals on all the pool accessories, patio umbrellas, plus play gyms, patio furniture, and so much more. 2120 Whitten Road, just north of I-40. And the first hour of the program is brought to you by the Big Green Egg. Well, right now, it's 76 degrees, and it's humid as heck out there, but it's going to get a lot worse. We're looking at 97 for a high today, with a heat index well into triple digits, well over 100. So the heat advisory is in effect for today. Tonight we're looking at clear skies with a low of 76. And then even a little warmer for your Tuesday. We don't see rain in sight, at least in the forecast, until sometime on Wednesday when the high is not projected to even reach 90. but 89 degrees. Still with that humidity, it's going to feel hot every single day. Coming up on the program today, we will continue the countdown to draft days, I guess I should say, as Parker Fleming will join us, who writes for the Grizzlies, covers the Grizzlies for Substack Elitist. We'll get his thoughts on what he thinks the Grizzlies could do. And, of course, it's anybody's guess right now. There are so many possibilities for the Grizzlies, but we'll have plenty of Grizzlies talk. John Moran had his camp over the weekend. Feels good, all smiles, feels like he is just about 100% and ready to go and will be ready to go in the fall. So that's certainly good news for the Grizzlies and Grizzlies fans alike. We got plenty of college sports to talk about, including a huge commitment for the University of Memphis football team. Penny Hardaway had some more interesting things to say about his Memphis Tigers basketball program. We will discuss that on the show today. Also, the College Baseball World Series comes down to one game between the Tennessee Volunteers and the Texas A&M Aggies. That will be tonight. Also tonight, it comes down to one game for Lord's Stanley Cup, as the Florida Panthers will try to prevent blowing a 3-0 lead to the Edmonton Oilers. That series is even at 3. We had a lot from the world of golf that took place over the weekend. Some interesting things, not only from the actual game of golf, but also some demonstrations that took place and scared the bejesus out of a few golfers. That's all coming up on the program. We'll take your calls and your texts on these Sissy's Log Cabin listener lines at 901-360-8255. That's your lineup for today. Good morning. How was your weekend?
Weekend was good. Played a lot of golf. Had a great time out at Irene Golf and Country Club. A little member guest out there, so had a blast out there. Although didn't get the win, it was still a lot of fun, and it was good. Today it is officially steamy this morning. There was a full-on fogged up, blinding glasses when I walked out of the house today. That's the first time this year it's really been to that point where immediately walking out the door, glasses fogged up, and I can't see anything.
How bad was the weekend? Because I was up in Nashville, as you know, and while it was still hot as all, there was a breeze, and then it ended up raining a little bit Sunday afternoon, but there was a breeze that made it nearly bearable. What was it like in Memphis?
It was hot, but it was yesterday. Yeah, yesterday was a pretty good breeze, so it wasn't an issue. But yeah, I mean, if you're standing there in the sun and the breeze isn't hitting you, it was real hot. But if you're in the shade and getting that breeze, it wasn't too bad. So it wasn't a killer. Was able to survive it with no problem.
Well, very nice. It was an interesting weekend, to say the least, in the world of sports. Started really on Friday afternoon when Penny went on a radio show. I've never heard of this show, but I think it has to do with Memphis City and county schools. And he went on, and we'll talk about that a little bit later on in the show. Really caused an uproar and a stir amongst Memphis Tigers basketball fans, and even more so, not just the Tiger basketball fans, but a lot of people in the area just wondering what's going on with Penny Hardaway. But we begin with the football side of things at the University of Memphis. They do land one of the highest-rated players in the history of the program. Some say the highest-rated. We're talking about quarterback Antoine Hill Jr. And a programming note, he is scheduled to join us on the show tomorrow. A 6'5", 215-pound pocket passer out of Georgia. Memphis beat out the University of Florida as it came down to those two schools. Yes, the University of Florida, and I know what people will say. Yes, Florida already has a quarterback or two committed. I understand. But it still came down to Florida or Memphis. And, of course, there were many, 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 many other suitors out there that were looking to try to land his services that he had thought about and eventually eliminated. He had originally committed to the University of Colorado. He is looked at as the 15th best quarterback prospect in the country for 2025, for the class of 2025. So he's one more year of high school down in Georgia. Last year threw for 2,732 yards, 31 touchdowns, only 5 interceptions. He was the top quarterback in the state of Georgia for the class of 2025. And he was the highest-rated quarterback remaining uncommitted until Memphis got the word from him and the big announcement that he was coming to the University of Memphis. Absolutely huge because, again, if everything follows according to plans, they have their quarterback of the future as soon as Seth Hennigan moves on, hopefully to the NFL, which follows in the footsteps of the Brady Whites, the Riley Fergusons, the Paxton Lynches. It has worked out pretty darn well for Memphis football with the quarterback position.
Yeah, this is it's huge to get that highly rated of a quarterback. I guess there's still a chance to get his teammate, a highly rated offensive lineman as well. But
Peyton Joseph,
kudos
four-star.
to Ryan Silverfield and company to be able to land a guy like this, and it's with Seth Hennigan moving on, they're going to need somebody now. Does it mean that he absolutely is the guy to step in there? Maybe it's somebody else that's currently on the roster or whatever. But to get a guy like this is huge, and could very well just be the next one in that line. And you look at just the physical. You're talking the size of him. The numbers that he has put up at the high school level, and certainly will, I'm sure, continue to do this year. The rankings from all of the different things out there from 24/7 Rivals, all those, I mean, ranked very highly in all of them. So it's a big time thing for the Tigers to be able to go get a guy like this. And add him to that recruiting class.
Well, like you said, he's not going to be given the job. He's going to have to earn the job. And there'll be some other quarterbacks, young quarterbacks that currently are on the roster that will battle, they'll compete. But this is the guy penciled in, knock on wood, everything goes according to plan, the quarterback of the future. And you got to figure that the NIL money was good. Was really good. I'm not saying that it necessarily was more than anybody else could have offered, because I'm sure there are schools out there that could have offered more. I don't know what the situation was with Florida, but I'm sure it was a good amount of money. And in part, you can thank Fred Smith and FedEx for that. I don't know how much. I'm not even going to speculate. People have asked me about that. And again, we will at least...
The FedEx boxes in the picture would tell you.
He wore a FedEx shirt. I don't know why, but again, we're scheduled to have him on the show tomorrow. But yeah, sure, if that FedEx deal is not in place, and again, the football team doesn't have $5 million. The $5 million is divvied up. Now, I've heard basketball got $1 million, and then we'll see what women's basketball and the rest of the sports, some of the sports didn't get anything. But the women's sports got a hunk of it. I don't know how much of it was given to football, and I don't know how much money with that and the other collectives certainly came into play, but it had to come into play. There's no question it came into play. But again, when Antoine talks about his future, he's not saying, and most players will not say, oh, it's all about the money. Of course they won't. Maybe one or two would shout that out, but I don't think so. I think when it comes down to it, certainly it's the main factor. But in this case, I don't know. Here's a guy who knew the situation, knows the situation at Memphis, knows that he has the possibility, as long as he lives up to the expectations, to walk right in, to win a job, start as a freshman, like his predecessor. So you look at that situation. You also look at the history of Memphis producing NFL players, Memphis on the rise. He didn't look at it like I had to play in the SEC, and you don't. You're given that opportunity no matter where you play. They will find you if you have the goods. So why not look at a place where the program's on the rise, he loves the city, he loves the people of the football program, the coaches, the players that will be returning, and he can walk right in, conceivably, play from the get-go, and still come away handsomely, I'm sure, with NIL money. That's a win-win. But again, like you said, you're not going to be handed the job. You got to come in and you have to earn it. So really good news for Memphis. And again, this guy is a pocket passer. He's a big dude, as you said, and he'll put some weight on. He'll put some pounds on. He won't play at 215, I don't think. I don't think he's going to play at 250 or 240, but he'll probably put on another 10 pounds, I would imagine. Just really good news for Memphis. And that was the crystal ball, was leaning toward Memphis, as most people had indicated, and most people were correct.
And hopefully, he steps in, does win the job, and then you could get the same thing as you got out of Seth Hennigan. 4 years of him as your starting quarterback. Yeah, that's very rare in the world of college sports today, so who knows what ends up happening. But it would be great if you went right from Seth Hennigan to a guy like this, and he was here for 4 years and continued to develop and has a great career at the University of Memphis.
Oh, that will be stupendous. But like you said, it is such an anomaly what Seth Hennigan has gone through with his 4 years at Memphis while getting offers and interest from other schools. You don't know. You keep your fingers crossed. I mean, hopefully this kid comes in like gangbusters for next year, and either he wins the job or somebody's even better than him that's on the roster. I don't know. I don't know the quarterbacks well enough. I know a lot about this guy. And he has a great year. And you're able to keep him, that's fantastic. But in this day and age, take it 1 year at a time, one season at a time, because you never know. You put up some huge numbers, and Alabama comes a-calling.
Yeah, if he ends up being as good as you expect and hope that he will be, literally every year, unless things change for whatever reason, every year he's going to be getting offers. And again, especially with the revenue sharing coming in, we'll see how much the University of Memphis has to be able to pay its athletes versus these other schools that certainly will have the maximum available to pay their athletes. So it will even become more difficult because beyond the NIL money, there will just be other money that's sitting there for these guys. So, yes, it'll be every year you're trying to re-recruit him. But at least they win the first recruiting battle and get him here to begin things. And you hope you can, he has a great relationship, obviously, with this Right Silverfield with Tim Cramsey. So hopefully that continues, and he really likes it, University of Memphis, and will end up staying here long term, just like Seth Hennigan has.
Good morning, Zach. How are you? How was your weekend?
Doing good. My weekend was it was nice and hot. I can tell you that. It was hot.
For everybody. So I'm sure as a Tiger yourself, as an alum of the University of Memphis, you're very happy with this news.
Look, I had on my blue hat, my blue shoes. I was waving my blue pom-poms and everything. I said, we got ourselves a quarterback, y'all.
Did you show your cap to the camera?
Yeah.
I'm Zach Boyd.
I got you.
I'm picking the University of Memphis. There you go. You have the blue cap on today.
And we're a Nike school, so it works out that way.
Are the blue shoes suede?
I used to have some, but they kind of what was it? I forgot the name of it. But the rubbers, like the rubber sole kind of gave out. So.
Okay. So no more blue suede shoes.
I don't have a blue.
Don't wear them out in the rain. Don't wear those suedes out in the rain. Maybe you did that, and that ruined them. But glad you had a great weekend.
Yeah, weekend was good.
All right, so the other news from the University of Memphis, from the basketball side of things, was a wild interview that Penny Hardaway did, again, on an MSCS show. And apparently a friend of his or somebody he knew very well or a friend of a friend, whatever the case was, good get by that show to have Penny Hardaway on, who has been relatively quiet to this point, although when he has made some comments, they've been quite interesting to say the least. Before we get into the Penny comments, one of the things that they did say, or Penny said on the show, was that the Tigers are putting in a waiver for Caleb Mills. Caleb Mills, who of course got hurt last year, and the team, whether it was coincidental or not, seemed to go south after that injury. Caleb Mills, a leader, really good defensive player, marginal offensive player. Memphis has not had a lot of luck with waivers. Tried one last year with DeAndre Williams. That did not work. But apparently that is the route they're going in, and that comes from the horse's mouth.
Yeah, I have no idea what the chances are of getting said waiver. You know, we have a lot less waivers that need to be filed in the world of college athletics these days, since there's not the waivers really for transfers. So something like this with injuries, you would think they would be able to actually maybe move a little quicker on it than they used to, since they had used to deal with a lot of waivers for the transfers. But who knows? And I have no idea what the likeliness is of him being able to get any sort of waiver.
So some other things that Penny said, and I'm paraphrasing here. I don't have that dictate everything he said and wrote it down, but I did get the gist of basically what he was saying. And he talked about, he could leave at any time, which is true. Penny could leave at any time he wanted to. He's financially set. He's not in this for the money. I don't think anybody would argue that he is. He is in this for the pride of his school, to elevate his coaching status, moving up from middle school, high school, and now the chance to coach his alma mater. So we know that. I think people wouldn't argue that point, that he cares, that he wants to win, that he's disappointed that he hasn't won at the high level he wants to win. But I don't know if he's being completely honest with himself, or he's just plain old wrong in some of the things he said. As much respect I have for Penny, I don't understand when he says something like, if I left, basically the program goes to crap. Yes, it was not in a good position, not in a good state after the 2 years of Tubby. Not that Tubby didn't win games, but there was just not that enthusiasm. It wasn't like it was back in the days of Cal. And it's very hard to match the days of Cal. And they made the move, and we were all for the move. And Penny certainly ignited the fan base. And still, he's a polarizing topic, because not for the love of Penny. I think everybody loves Penny, the player, the loyal Memphis alum, the legend of the university and a legend of this city. I don't think anybody argues that point. But I think what he believes, how he's being treated, and what people believe is reality are two different things. I think he thinks he gets the short end of the stick, but I think more than likely he gets the benefit of the doubt. I think it's the other way. And as far as the program going completely down, I mean, again, right now the argument is, well, is it up as high as it needs to be or should be? No, it's not. The stature of the university and this program is not where it can be. And so that's the argument from the other side. It's like, wait a minute. And who's to say that there's not another coach that could come in and elevate that? So, I mean, I think that's kind of ridiculous. The one thing I would agree on that is he certainly cares and bleeds blue and wants to win. And probably when they lose, he goes home and he is depressed, as bad as anybody out there. I think that's for sure. I love the guy in that sense, because, yes, he could go. He's right about that. He could go anywhere he wants. And he wanted to coach his alma mater. But now they need more results. He's got some wins. Sure, the number of wins. But again, it's not the most competitive conference. Last year was a disaster. It ended up a disaster. This is an extremely important season coming up. And he has soured. He talked about the media. And, he talked about, I think he talked about some outlets in particular. I'm not sure if he talked about individuals. I just kind of, again, caught the gist of what it was. But it was basically saying there are people in the media that are attacking him. I think people have been very honest and open, and in some regards, even the press, as far as the Daily Memphian and the Commercial Appeal, a little bit more lenient than what would happen if this was New York City or Philadelphia or Boston, with a coach going into year number 7 with one tournament win. So that was, again, shocking. The outlet he decided to use, and to come out guns a-blazing after being relatively quiet up to this point. After the break.
After the break, I'll talk about it. I mean, some of this stuff is. I mean, I don't even honestly know where he could even come up with most of this stuff.
All right, we'll get your thoughts when we come back. We'll also take the thoughts of our listeners, whether it be the Sissy's Log Cabin phone line or the text line, 901-360-8255, same number for both. I want to tell you folks about All-Star Chevrolet in Olive Branch. Together, let's drive in the summer in what we really want to drive in. A beautiful new automobile from All-Star Chevrolet, and great deals all over the place, including the new Silverados. Some mark 12% off invoice. How's that even possible? 12% off invoice, financing as low as 1.9%, no payments for 90 days on the new Silverados, the new Trailblazers, the Equinox, and more. Nothing beats family trips in the new Tahoe. An extra $500 bonus for college students, grads, military, first responders, healthcare workers, and teachers. No matter what pre-owned you're looking for, find it in Olive Branch at All-Star Chevy's All-American Pre-Owned Sale. They have all the Jeeps, the Ram trucks, the 4Runners, even a Ram ProMaster cargo van. Everything you need. You can test drive them all down at All-Star Chevrolet in Olive Branch. Bring All-Star any vehicle you want to sell. Get a check today. Everyone at All-Star Chevy in Olive Branch wishes you a very happy and safe 4th of July as we get set to celebrate our country's Independence Day. So don't miss All-Star Chevy's All-American Sale in Olive Branch, or go online to allstarautogroup.com. You're tuned in to Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio, we are Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Wash your house, wash your office building? Impossible! Not called Wilson's Pro Wash. Your house, fence, driveway, warehouse, store, hotel, even cars and trucks can all be squeaky clean and beautiful after pressure washing by Wilson's Pro Wash. Wilson's specializes in cleaning all hard surfaces: concrete, stone, brick, and mortar, even wood and vinyl siding. Then Wilson's can seal their surfaces so they stay looking brand new. Call Wilson's Pro Wash, 901-524-6799, or online at wilsonsprowash.com.
Locally owned and operated for over 40 years, Automatic Gates Construction tailors custom gate solutions for all your residential, commercial, and industrial needs, including repairs, maintenance, and installation. Automatic Gates Construction specializes in designing and installing automatic gates and fencing that seamlessly blends security, functionality, and aesthetic appeal. Elevate the safety and efficiency of your property with a premium gate solution. Automatic Gates Construction at myautomaticgates.com.
It's time to ride during the Gossett Mitsubishi Motors Summer Sales Event. Check out 43 MPG Highway in a new 2024 Mitsubishi Mirage, $17,935 or $249 a month. Need extra room for your vacation? Let Gossett make it happen with 2024 Mitsubishi Outlander, $30,490 or $449 per month. And go for miles and miles with 420 total range in 2024 Mitsubishi Outlander PHEV, $599 a month. Plus peace of mind with Mitsubishi's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. Gossett Mitsubishi, 1870 Covington Pike, and 24/7 at memphismitsubishi.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
Military rebate, 500 royalty rebate. Mirage Outlander 84 months. Mirage RHO 10934. MSRP 18435. Outlander RZO 55981. MSRP 31490. PHEV RZO 35245. MSRP 48065. Includes 1095 acquisition fee. Sale price includes all rebates and incentives. Excludes processing fee of $695. Lease terms includes processing fee of $695. 15 cents per mile excess wear and tear. With approved credit, see dealer for complete details. Offer valid through end of the month. Dealer stock only.
Hi, this is Eric Hasseltine telling you to hurry. Hurry to Genesis Diamonds right now. The clock is ticking on Genesis Diamonds' amazing finance offer. You have until Sunday to take advantage of the hottest offer ever. 5 years, 0 interest financing. You can get that stunning designer engagement ring starting as low as $67 a month, or a 3-carat lab-grown center diamond just $99 a month. It's the smartest, fastest, and best way to buy. But hurry, this incredible offer ends this weekend and will not be extended. Only at Genesis Diamonds at Poplar and Perkins Extended.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good morning. Starting to pick up just a little bit more now on I-40 East coming across a Hernando de Soto Bridge. Yes, the 55 bridge is back open. That's going to be nice for a lot of folks now. Coming over from West Memphis, it's building pretty good right now up to South Haven 55 going northbound all the way up into South Memphis. Hey, Weimer's Jewelry located 7525 Highway 64. They want you to know they are your full-service, family-owned jewelry store right here in Memphis. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Welcome back, everybody. 7:28 the time on this Monday, June 24th, 2024. We're going to take your calls and texts here in just a moment. We opened up talking about the Memphis Tigers football news over the weekend. The big commitment from Antoine Hill Jr., who was scheduled to join us on the show tomorrow, the four-star quarterback out of Georgia. And then we talked about Penny Hardaway's interview on Friday and subsequently some of the reaction to that. I gave you some thoughts from me earlier. I want to get some thoughts here from Eli, and then we'll turn it over to you. All right.
Well, he said it's not even about reporting about what we do and how we do it. It's more personal. I can read through it. I see everything. I keep all receipts. I just laugh because every single thing this year, from the smallest thing, has been reported or an article written on it. And there's been a lot more negative and personal things toward me this year out of all years because to me it was a layup. I don't even what personal attacks? What has anybody said negatively, personally towards him? It's all about the basketball program and what he's doing as a coach.
Unless he thinks that some people who are attacking him as a coach and don't think he can coach, that's personal.
Well, I mean, then that's just like, I mean, if that's considered personal, then you're saying that nobody can criticize anything you do as the coach of the program?
Right.
Like, and yes, there's more negative this year because you took a step backwards and didn't make the NCAA tournament. You had a disaster year in missing the NCAA tournament after being in the top 10 at one point. I mean, you lost at home to Rice, for goodness sake. Yes, there's going to be negatives out of this year. I mean, you can't just sugarcoat it every single year. This year, I think people finally, after literally sugarcoating it and making excuse after excuse after excuse, finally this year with the losses they took, yes, people finally started criticizing. But it's not personal. Listen, I feel awful for the stuff that he's going through with his mom. Mm-hmm. Like that is awful. Nobody should have to go through that. That's terrible stuff. And I'm sure, yes, that affects a lot with his day-to-day of trying to coach the basketball program, but he's still the head coach of the program, and the results of the program still fall on him as the head coach of this program. And so, I mean, I don't know. Like, I just don't understand how you can think people are that this city is attacking you personally. This city loves Penny, and they should, with what he's done for this city, for the University of Memphis, everything else before he was the coach.
This city backs him so much that there are members of the media that go overboard to protect him when they shouldn't. That's not what you do as a member of the media. I mean, certainly I have a relationship with him. Wolo has a relationship with him. We say things. Now, when I say things, I'm being honest, but I'm not being as critical as maybe you are without that relationship. But certainly there are some that won't even criticize one bit when there's criticism to be said. Nobody should take personal attacks. And again, I don't think it's a personal attack unless you're saying, again, he's considering his coaching being questioned as personal. But and you're right about his mom. I sure wish the best prayers and thoughts with that. I mean, I went through when I moved here with my mom. The whole situation when she passed away, it's horrible. I mean, she's obviously fighting, and hopefully she fights through it and stays alive for years and years to come. And that, I'm sure, is taxing on Penny. It's taking its toll. But then can't
imagine. But
you're coming out now and you're publicly saying the things that you said.
I don't think there's anybody in this city who wouldn't love the story of Penny Hardaway as the head coach of the Memphis Tigers winning a national, like it would just be it's whatever, like it would be awesome if they had unbelievable success under Penny Hardaway. It is, I mean, the homegrown son comes back to the program as the head coach, leads it to great heights. Like it's like the dream scenario. That's what everybody in this city wants.
I don't know one person
to act like there's anything other than that of this city rooting for him to have success, unless they're a fan of some other program or something maybe. But people that either are University of Memphis fans or just have no that live in the city but don't have no allegiance to any program. Everybody wants to see Penny succeed in this job. Everybody does. Like there's nobody rooting against that.
Yeah, I've never heard one person on the street when people come up to me or text me or email me, call me if they know my number, that say, "Wait, yeah, we want Penny to fail." No, it's all about winning a national championship. Even people who don't root for the Tigers, not Vols fans now, they may have a problem with him, but others respect him. And respect him as the player he was, and respect him as the man he is. So, yeah, I just think we're kind of two sides. He's on that one side, and then everybody else, I think, is on the other side, like a little confused with some of the things he said.
If this in his mind or whatever is the way of kind of creating the whole, it's Memphis versus everybody, and it's Penny versus, got to put he wants to put the chip on his shoulder. Everybody, I don't know, but like. Again, that's some of the stuff he's saying. It's just not true. Like there's just no factual stuff to back up personal attacks that he claims that people are making against him, unless they're doing it somewhere else. I don't know. I've never seen anything personal attacks on him.
Yeah, and I don't go on message boards, so I don't know if anything's happening on those. Let's go to the Sissy's Log Cabin Lister lines, 901-360-8255. The lines are packed. Let's begin with Dennis. Dennis, how are you?
Hey, hot, man. I'll make it through. Look, I just wanted to say a couple points, man. First, I don't think it's personal attacks. I think, first he needs to just stop worrying about what people say, man. That people are going to talk. I mean, people talked about Jesus, so people are going to talk. Mm-hmm. So don't worry about that, man. Now, I do think it's not objective criticism sometimes, and my point being, for him, I mean, I think people lose sight that he came out of high school. I don't know another coach that did that. I mean, most times you come out of high school, you go on a bench. Josh Pastner never was a head coach, but he was on a bench for a while. So like he said on the interview, I don't know if you guys watched the whole interview, he said himself, I'm still learning. He said, I'm still learning how to hire. And I don't think if he was such a bad coach, this guy gets big-name coaches every year. Every year. I mean, if he was so terrible, and I'm not saying you guys said, but some of the masses, if he was so terrible, why would he get these guys? I mean, Stansberry does not have to be here. Mm-hmm. This guy could go anywhere and coach, man. He chose to stay here. He don't have to come here. Now you got Davis. I mean, you had Hayes. You had Larry Brown. I mean, these guys, I just refuse to believe that he was so terrible that,
But, Dennis, the counter would be, and you're right, because they respect Penny. Penny has the respect of the basketball world. They know he's not. I know he's a knowledgeable. I get a chance to talk to him before games that I broadcast inside his office. I mean, he is really not. But if you don't lean on those coaches, and still the bottom line's the bottom line, right? It's still, whether you have all those great names next to you, the bottom line is still one tournament win. And sometimes people look beyond that. Like it's still a bottom line world, right? Whether you're coming out of high school, whether you're you think you're going to give J.J. Redick oh man, he gets a pass. The Lakers won 25 games and make the playoffs this year. He's not going to get a pass, man, with no coaching experience.
Those are great points. I can't argue with that. And I know other callers want to get in, man. But my last thing, I mean, I just think, we have to be patient to a point. As long as they're not losing. I mean, he's not losing. Yeah, it sucks. Like Eli said, he lost the rights, man. I mean, he lost the rights. That sucks. And should you be criticized for that? Without a doubt. But I just think it gets to a point, people have to realize that it's only been, he's a pup, like he said. I just think it'll be a mistake for him to leave. I hope he doesn't. And one more thing about the program going down. No, it won't go down. No, that was a crazy statement. But we have to admit it would take time for it to bounce back. Because anybody you hire, like the name I always heard, Will Wade will not stay here 2 or 3 years. The first time he gets in the tournament, Goes to the second weekend, he's gone. So, no, it wouldn't go to crap, but I definitely think it would take time, and whoever you get, will leave. If Ryan Silverfield does what he should do this year, watch how that phone rings.
Thank you, Dennis.
So you guys have a good day, man.
You too. I appreciate it. And that's a good point. And I made this point last week. It is very rare to have a coach for men's basketball and football that have both been here this long. Now, again, are they knocking down the doors for the two? I don't think so. But if you have success and you have it at a high level, they will be. And at least with Penny and Ryan, they have been very committed to this program in this city.
It will take a while to bounce back. Bounce back to what? To missing the tournament?
Right.
The next coach could come in and miss the tournament.
Yeah, I see. That's the one thing I think that from the last conference. Remember the last time Penny spoke about the bar? The bar is raised for him. I don't know. I mean, the expectations are high, but yes, what are you bouncing back from? If I'm telling you, if I had asked Penny before he started his coaching career, 7 years in, you're going into your 7th year, you'll have one tournament win, he would have laughed me out of the room. So don't lower the bar, not raise the bar, lower the bar. He expects to win a national championship.
Yes, in his opening press conference, he talked about winning. He's here to win championships.
Right, exactly.
I mean, Josh Pastner had done more, and everybody in the city wanted him fired.
Let's go to Tony. Tony, welcome to the show.
What's going on, guys?
Hey, man.
And how you guys doing?
Good, man. Thank you, too.
In perspective, the person that was giving the questions to him he told everybody he was going to throw in lobs and layups. They were friends. Mm-hmm. And so it was a moment for Penny to vent. The man's been going through a whole lot. With his mom being sick, that was in the know. We knew.
Absolutely.
But the other thing is Dan Dockich have been taking personal shot at Penny for years.
Who the hell's Dan Dockich?
And
I
there
know
have
who
been
he is,
people,
but I'm just like, who cares?
So there have been other media people that have, too. And then there have been, little funny jokes. I mean, you got to understand the way that not just a regular athlete, this guy was a superb athlete. They take everything personal. They take everything so they can go to that next level. I guarantee you that next season, Penny's going to have a doggone good season. Penny had even alluded when they was 15, when they was on their nice little run, that this team didn't compete all the time.
He did.
On defense.
He did.
He said that several times. You could tell the disgust on his face at times. He ain't the kind to yell and scream out and embarrass somebody in public like that, especially his players. But the guy is human. And the guy is hurt right now because of his mother.
Yeah, but he took it as hard as nobody's denying that. He took it as hard as anybody. I guarantee you when he got there behind closed doors by himself, he was like, I cannot believe what we're doing. We're not competing. So don't think, for any second that he is just kind of shrugs it off and moves on to the next thing. But as far
the man can't sleep sometimes.
But as far as Dockich and guys like that, he's Penny freaking Hardaway. He's Dan Dockich.
Okay,
why would he take it to heart?
Tony, you said
his name is Penny. Your name is Eli. My name is Tony. Your name is Greg. So everybody take things different. Sure. But like I said, he wear it on his sleeve to motivate him. Mm-hmm. Take it personal.
Mm-hmm. But Tony, you said you just said you guarantee they'll have a great year next year. Is that what you said? I think something like that. You probably said that before last season too, didn't you?
And they had a great season going into where they got number 10, and somehow their team collapsed. Sometimes chemistry is just off.
So, why will this season be different?
But the last 2 out of 3 years, they did make the tournament. And his record is superb when you look at it by record. They just had a bad game and a bad loss. The team was in a funk when they lost against South Florida because they was up in that game. And then they lost to Rice.
All right.
If they hadn't lost to Rice, they probably would have been on the bubble and might have made it because of the teams they beat.
But they did. Come on,
that's why we say 5-1 against SEC teams last year.
Yeah, they got off to a great start.
They also
did,
lost
and then
to a bunch
collapsed.
of AAC teams.
Okay. So like I said, the team collapsed. I mean, it just happened to my Atlanta Braves. They didn't bounce back. Things like this happens to teams. Sometimes, especially now in college football and in basketball, when you don't keep a roster like you do in the past, everything is off the cuff now. So like I said, he got to make adjustments. And then I tell you another thing that he don't like, the criticism about him losing assistant coaches. It ain't like Memphis pay assistant coaches a whole lot of money.
Well,
So
do we really know how much they pay them? I mean, I don't know them. I don't know how much they pay. Do you know?
Why don't you ask the university? I mean, I think it'd be a
You're
matter
the
of
ones
public
curious
record.
about
You got me. I'm saying that they don't pay them that much money. That's why they lost. They lost Heath to Texas.
Hey, thank you, Tony. Yeah, they've lost some of these guys because those guys left, but he's also shown some guys the door as well.
Some of them left.
I mean, Andy Borman was kicked out from this team. I mean, and some of the other guys, they made changes as well.
It's hard to criticize the money when some of them left to literally go not work. They didn't go for another coaching job. They left.
Like Larry Brown?
Well, Mike
Rasheed
Miller, Sam
Wallace?
Mitchell, go down the list.
Was it
guys.
Rasheed? Who was the guy they had?
Rasheed was here briefly.
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
a weird situation.
Yeah, and then left. Let me go to Dwayne. Dwayne, welcome to the show.
Hey, what's up, Greg?
Hey.
Let me say something. University of Memphis are paying these coaches. I don't want to hear that crap about, hey, they're not making money as assistant coaches. Larry Brown made good money. Frank Heath made good money. Willis Wills is first. These guys made good money. It's not that they didn't make money. They left because, hey, it could have been something that wasn't right. But let me talk about Penn Hardaway right quick. This university is made of brick and mortar. Don't think you are this university, because you're not. There's a lot of people who came here, that played for this university, and some of them have coached at this university. But time passes, things happen, and then we will move on. If you want to be a head coach somewhere else, that's fine. But I don't think nobody was knocking your door down to hire you when you was at high school, teaching high school basketball. No one was knocking your door down. And you had all these great recruits, but wasn't nobody offering you a job.
Mm-hmm.
University of Memphis gave you opportunity. And now it's somewhere or another, it sounds like you got in a fight with your big brother. Now you mad at him. And this university ain't did nothing but love on you. The fans ain't did nothing but love on you. But we expect for you to produce. And if that's too much pressure for you to produce, then you're at the wrong university. I don't want to look up and see you 15-2, then you turn around and you can't be Wichita State in the first round of AAC tournament. That's horrible. I'm just being real, man.
Mm-hmm.
I do not want this university to fail. I don't care if Hardaway is the coach, Andre Turner, Lil Spoon Johnson. I don't care who it is. If you come to this university, we expect you to win. Basketball has been the bread and butter of this university. And just because you leave, that don't mean we won't buy no more bread and butter.
Thank you, Dwayne.
I mean, we're going to get the job done. Later, guys.
Appreciate it, man. All right, we'll get to the rest of the calls. I know other people are waiting in line and others that will be calling in, so we'll do that right after this.
This hour of our program is brought to you by the Big Green Egg. Go to BigGreenEgg.com or go to Ace Hardware stores around town. Hamilton Fireplace as well. That's where you can see the Big Green Egg in person. Check out the different sizes of the egg. Check out the egg accessories as well. The website has all the details about it. Comes with a lifetime warranty. It's the last grill you'll ever need to buy. And without a doubt, the best grill there is, the Big Green Egg.
All right, back to your calls and texts in a moment. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Be sure to follow us at Sports 56 WHBQ on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube to watch live video of our shows. Stay up to date with station events and have chances to win prizes. Don't miss out on anything that's going on. Follow us at Sports 56 WHBQ.
There are many real estate companies out there, but then there's Banyan Tree Realtors on the Tigerville Town Square. There are hands-on, family-owned boutique real estate companies whose agents have been offering exceptional attention to their clients for over 40 years. In an ever-changing world, Banyan Tree continues to maintain a small-town personal charm while providing a worldwide connection through its internet marketing presence. Personal service will never go out of style at Banyan Tree Realtors. Their agents are people you can trust, offering service you deserve. From residential homes to commercial properties, farmland, land lots, and historical houses, Banyan Tree has the expertise you can rely on. So if you're downsizing, upsizing, moving in, or moving on, give Banyan Tree Realtors a call today. Craig Smith and Mary Jean Smith and their agents are ready to serve you. Call today at 901-620-8920 or 901-359-2520.
Guns, guns, and more guns. Over 700 firearms in stock. Home defense guns, old guns, new guns, used guns, big guns, little guns. Every gun you can think of, Classic Arms has them. All brands like Glock, Sig, Colt, Ruger, Smith & Wesson, Browning, Beretta, Benelli, Remington, Winchester, and more. Guaranteed lowest prices in town. Only gun importer in the Mid-South. Free gun inspections and appraisals and free bore sighting for the upcoming deer season. Shop online at ClassicArmsOfMemphis.com or visit Classic Arms at 1740 Germantown Parkway behind Quicky's Barbecue in Cordova.
They're taking care of beerness in Memphis right on the river with Grind City Brewing and all of their great products. Look, this was a dream come true for a father and son duo. And if you have not been to that brewery right on the river, just to the north of downtown, you're really missing something special. And now you can't miss their products. Wherever you go, you see a brand new label. It's clean, it's beautiful, it's distinctive. You'll know Grind City Brewing, and of course you know their products like Poppy's Pills, that great Pilsner, or Tiger Tail, that very creative craft malt liquor. There's the new Thaddeus Amber Lager. That is absolutely a great light beer. There's the India Pale called God Hopper. It's outstanding. And then there's the Belga, the Belgian-style wheat ale. They keep bringing hits at Grind City Brewing.
The light is fading, your hands are sore, and the last tool's been put away. Now's the time to feel the satisfaction that comes with a job well done. But when you get your tools from Harbor Freight, something about the job feels a little different. Your wallet. Because we believe that everyone deserves hard-working tools at hard-working prices. And that's what we have here. So, whatever you do it for us at Harbor Freight.
It's the Kia Summer Sticker Sales Event. It's going strong at Gossett Kia on the Pike. Are you ready to ride in your new Kia with 41 MPG Highway? We Gossett! 2024 Kia Forte LXS, $199 a month, $34.99 due at signing. How about 282 miles of EPA estimated range with new 2023 Kia EV6 Win, $249 a month. And 2024 Kia Telluride LX 357 a month, both $39.99 due at signing, all 24-month lease. And get peace of mind with Kia's 10-year 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. Call Bobby J. He's ready to put you in your new Kia today. Gossett Kia, 1900 Covington Pike, online, KiaCovingtonPike.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
Rebates and incentives. Lease includes PF 695, 650 acquisition fee, EV6 P561 0964, MSRP 50,200, Telluride RG 510 849, MSRP 38305, Forte LXS RE 78169, MSRP 21820. Plus finance through Hyundai. Excludes tax title and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 6/30/2024 with approved credit dealer stock only.
Welcome back, everybody. Final segment here in hour number one. We'll talk plenty of NBA draft, Grizzlies in hour two. Parker Fleming will join us at 8:25. Now we go back to the Sissy's Log Cabin listener lines, 901-360-8255. Mike is next. Mike, how are you?
I'm doing okay. We really don't know what kind of text messages and stuff that Penny's getting,
right,
off the air. And no offense to you guys, the media they can dish it out, but they can't take it. If you question any of the media, they get pissed. It's almost like they take it personal.
Well, in which way?
We can almost cut you off the phone. That's why. I mean, it happens over and over again. Anybody that questions what y'all are saying, if they get, personal about it, and they want to just cut you off.
No. Some people do. We don't do that. We only do that because of time restraints.
Well,
now,
look,
you got
Mike,
listen.
Okay,
see,
so you're taking it personal.
You're cutting me off right now. I'm telling you, if there's time restraints, we're up against a break. We have commercials we got to get to. We have to cut you off. But as far as, unless you're saying something personally about me, and you better not, I mean, there's going to be a problem. But I think anything you say, Mike, we don't have to see eye to eye. That's fine.
Yeah.
We give you call every day. I put you on the air.
In this media, want to make a living either picking on Ryan, or now that he's done fairly well, they're going to pick on Penny.
Some do, but I mean, do you?
Who's picking on him?
But
I'm talking about the media.
But what are they? What are
who's
they
picking on Penny?
Well,
Like,
it doesn't matter who. What are they saying that they're picking on him? That he's only won 1 in 7 years? I mean, what?
Yeah,
what are
that's
they
one thing. I mean, hey,
but
look,
that's the fact.
he could have only gone to the tournament for 6 of those years, and he was 22-12 last year. That's not like a losing season. He had some big wins last year, but he had a team that got dysfunctional on him.
Right. But nobody's saying he's this bad coach. He's a
Oh, no,
losing
I
coach.
mean, you
He's
know.
a horrible coach. He's winning a lot of games, but at Memphis, you don't want to lower the expectations for Memphis basketball, right? The expectations.
Nobody's lowering the expectations.
Well,
I mean, you
don't
know.
you think? Don't you think one tournament win in now going in 6
Well,
years?
he had
is,
one tournament win and one timeout that he should have had another tournament win.
Is that good enough for you?
Well, it's good enough right now.
Okay, that's all. That's all. That's fine. Mike, thank you. Appreciate the phone call. Let me go to Keith. Hey, Keith, how are you?
Hey, brothers, how you doing?
Doing well, thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, so I want to touch on Silverfield first, and then I'm going to go to Penny. But it's just amazing the string of great quarterbacks that Memphis has got here lately under different coaches. I mean, and I'm so tickled. I mean, I am really tickled over this boy coming to Memphis. Anyway, all right, let's go to Penny. All right, I don't blame it on. Well, I do in some way blame it on Penny because he's had some players that are got really big egos, and he hasn't controlled them and settled them down to play as a team. I do blame that on him, and I know he's bound to have a big ego because as big of a player as he was. But look at Caitlin Clark. She's like a freshman in WNBA, and she's setting records. I mean, she could go out and shoot every shot if she wanted to. You know what I'm saying? But
Keith, we're losing you, my friend. I appreciate it. I don't know where he was going with Caitlin Clark, but I guess that she's turned into a pretty good. I don't know which, but as far as Penny, ego and all that, I mean, I think Penny. I'm sure he has an ego. Everybody has an ego. I'm telling you, he's delightful. When I talk to him in close, he's delightful. He's honest. He's open. And we go back to what we said to start. Everybody wants him to succeed. If there are some people that have a personal problem with him, I don't know what it is. And like Mike said, maybe he gets some texts about that. I have no idea. I mean, there are rabid fans that go way overboard. But I thought they were usually in the SEC when it came to football, when they threaten people. But he is a delightful guy to talk about.
But the personal things he was referring to were about, he says it's not even about reporting about what we do and how we do it. It's more personal. He's clearly talking about the media and reporters. He's not talking about somebody text messaging it.
Okay. I don't know if more visibility to practices, not for the public, but for the media. I've been to those practices. Anybody who doesn't think he coaches, I mean, he can coach the game. He can coach the game. But for whatever reason, whether there's internal strife, whether they're not on the same page, maybe it's kind of the Ted Williams thing. I don't understand why you can't hit the ball like me, because you're freaking Ted Williams. I don't understand why you can't play basketball. Well, it's because you're freaking Benny Hardaway. They're not going to be able to play like you played. I mean, so sometimes that could be an issue. The whole thing with the coaches, I don't know. I couldn't tell you how much he leans on the coaches and how much he doesn't lean on them. Rick Stansbury is back, so obviously they have a good relationship. He didn't look to leave and go somewhere else. But it's still a bottom line business. And I don't think the bar has been raised for Memphis basketball. I think a lot of people, whether they're listeners to the show, even some media members who have lowered their expectations. Yes, he's winning a lot of games, and certainly that's why you can't, he's a flop. No, he's not a flop. He has some big wins on the resume, but he doesn't have the big wins that count more than anything, and that's the tournament. And that's the bottom line, and that's how you're looked at as a coach when history looks back at your tenure, whoever you are. You look back at how many championships did you win, how many times you get to the tournament, how many tournament wins did you get. Most of the time, you're not looked at as how many games you won in the regular season, especially when you play in a pretty mediocre conference. Now, they held their own, certainly, against teams like Houston, who were really, really good and continue to be really good. And they have risen to the occasion, especially early last year. But you have to finish the deal. All right, one more call before we take the top of the hour break, and that goes to Craig. Craig, how are you?
Good morning. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure.
I'm just tired. I'm one of those just tired of all the drama. I mean, one thing that's constant and we can depend on is drama from Penny Hardaway. he may be a good coach, but obviously the program is not going well. There's plenty of coaches that could come to the University of Memphis and have a lot more success than Penny has had. I mean, there are coaches that make the tournament multiple times in the period of 7 years from lesser schools than Memphis. So on a day we should be talking about a great success of football, here we go, some more drama. The drama just gets old. And like another caller said, I'm a fan of the University of Memphis, supporter of the University of Memphis. It's bigger than one individual coach. And I think in business and any other part of life, anybody that's had as many years as Penny has had should have better success and probably would not be in the job at this point. Nothing against Penny. Everybody, like you say, everybody wants Penny to succeed. But, I mean, it's tiring. Anytime there's good football news, somehow magically there's some drama from Penny, and it's just old. It's old. I'm over it.
I hear you, Craig. Thank you very much for the call.
Yep.
Appreciate it.
Got a lot of texts we'll get to coming up to kick off hour number 2 on this subject as well. The Sissy's Log Cabin listener line open to you at 901-360-8255. That's 901-360-8255.
Speaking of basketball, Shoot 360 Memphis will make you a better all-around player, but specifically a better shooter. That's what they do. They can perfect your shot, challenge yourself, compete with others. You can learn the proper ways to shoot the ball using modern analytics at Shoot 360 Memphis. So for you parents out there, grandparents, coaches of teams, for your players, you have a basketball player in your family, you have multiple basketball players in your family, take a look at what Shoot 360 Memphis has to offer. This is the same system that stars like Steph Curry have used. It's a revolutionary training facility. It combines cutting-edge technology with expert coaching, and that will improve your shooting skills. The facility is equipped with advanced shooting machines that provide real-time feedback on shooting accuracy and arc and depth. Players can track their progress and analyze their performance. I had heard about Shoot 360 Memphis, and I thought, okay, this is probably a pretty cool place. And then when I went over there for the first time and experienced it, it's like nothing anything with basketball related that I have seen close to compare to this. It is absolutely out of this world to become that better shooter, to use the training facility, to use this modern equipment that they have, the analytics that they have, the videotapes that you will see. You'll see the progress of the individual, whether it's you or again, someone that you want to get a membership for. But do yourself a favor and tour the facility. Give them a call at 901-316-5500. Ask for a tour. Go out to Collierville, where they've been now for a number of years, tour the facility. Now, they're getting ready to open up the Cordova facility. That is in a matter of, it looks like, less than 2 weeks. You can get a membership for either location or a membership for both. But give them a call, set up a tour, do yourself a favor, try out the equipment. They'll let you do that. Or also go online, find out more about them, find out about their history. Shoot 360 Memphis. You can sign up there as well. It's where the preps and pros go to get their shot on, and now they're transitioning to monthly membership. So, hey, try it out for a month. If you don't like it, don't do it again. But I guarantee you, from me, you're going to fall in love with it. It's Shoot 360 Memphis. Hour 2 on the way. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Sometimes we're so focused on telling you all the great things about Sunrise on Jefferson and Sunrise on Poplar other than breakfast, we forget to remind you that the thing Sunrise does best is breakfast. Breakfast sandwiches on the signature house-made square biscuit, like the usual with bacon, egg, and cheddar, the rooster with fried chicken, house-made pickles, and Tabasco honey, or the plates of French toast or avocado toast, or the huge variety of bowls only available at Sunrise. There's simply no better place for breakfast in Memphis. Well, actually two. There are two better places.
Hi, this is Troy Fiveash, owner of Fiveash Roofing. In these uncertain economic times, there are so many things as a contractor and a business owner that I cannot control. The rising cost of materials, not to mention fuel and transportation costs. In the last 2 years, shingle prices have almost doubled, and commercial materials have doubled. And I don't have to tell you what fuel costs these days. But you know what I can control? How much markup I put on a project. I have always prided myself in knowing I never gouge a customer. But in an effort to ensure my crews have work and my customers are being treated fairly, I have lowered my profit margin, hoping to give you a price you can live with and keeping my crews busy. So if you need a roof or gutters, please give us a call. 5 Roofing, fair, honest, and ethical. 5 Roofing, a proud sponsor of Tiger Athletics and a member of the Tigers home team. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Life hack number 7. Get an iPhone 12 on Straight Talk. Life hack. Here's how it works. You walk into Walmart, go to the electronics section, ask for iPhone 12 with 5G and a dual camera system, and select the new Silver Unlimited plan. They'll smile because it's a good plan. You get real unlimited data all for just $20 a month for the whole first year. Get it at Walmart or StraightTalk.com. Straight Talk. Less dollars, more sense. Taxes and fees apply. Requires activation of iPhone 12 and a new Silver Unlimited plan or higher end auto pay enrollment. $25 a month service credit applied for up to 12 months if eligibility requirements are met. For network management practices, visit StraightTalk.com.
That's right, Randy. I've got 2024 Ram 1500 Traceman Quad Cab 4-wheel drive, $649 a month.
That is awesome. What else you got, Ronnie?
2024 Jeep Gladiator Sport 4-wheel drive, $659 a month.
That's a hot deal on Gladiator Sport. What else you got?
Get super power in a 2023 Charger RT Scat Pack, $698 a month. That's $8,600 off MSRP.
So drive past the rest and come to the best at Gossett Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Fiat or the Pike. Or shop online anytime at GossettMotorCars.com. 75 months, 5,000 down. Ram RN 194282, MSRP 48,595. Jeep RL 116172, MSRP 51690. Charger PH 612877, MSRP 55110. Price includes all rebates and incentives and excludes PF 695. Payments include PF 695. All exclude tax, title, and license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details. Dealer stock only.
Make your next grill your last with a Big Green Egg. Smoke, bake, roast, sear, and grill, all with a lifetime warranty. Save money on fuel, eating out, and replacing expensive grills that cannot match the flavor of the Big Green Egg. Ready to cook in only 10 to 15 minutes with temperatures below 200, above 700, and anywhere in between with ease. Change your at-home cooking experience for life. Go to shop.biggreenegg.com.
This Sports 56 traffic report is brought to you by Luttrell Building. They keep you moving.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good morning. A little bit of volume over here on 240 East and westbound at Poplar. Traffic's picking up quite a bit in the last few minutes. 51 southbound coming in from Millington. Yes, the 55 bridge back open. That's helping a lot there for folks coming over from West Memphis on 55 coming southbound across the bridge. Hey, Weimer's Jewelry, 7525 Highway 64, your full-service family-owned jewelry store here in Memphis. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Sports 56 mornings.
Isn't it a lovely morning?
On Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by James Gaddis Jewelers. Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Welcome back, everyone. 8:05 the time, hour 2 here on Sports 56 Mornings. Greg Gaston, Eli Savoy. Zach Boyd with you on this Monday, June 24th, 2024. Last week in the month of June, another scorcher. We're in the Family Leisure Studios, Family Leisure, where family and fun come together. 2120 Whitten Road, just north of I-40. How hot is it? Already 81 and extremely humid. It will get up to 97, abundant sunshine, and we're talking about a heat index well into the triple digits. So a heat advisory is in effect tonight, clear skies, and a low of 76. Hour 2 of the program brought to you by James Gaddis Jewelers. They're your family's jeweler at 4900 Poplar between Mendenhall and St. Nick, on the web at GaddisJewelers.com. Each Monday and Friday, they bring you the Memphis Sports Fact. Did you know Redbird slugger Lucan Baker blasted 2 home runs yesterday in the Redbirds' loss to the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp out at AutoZone Park? That gives Baker 73 home runs in a Redbirds uniform. He is 1 away from tying Nick Stavinoa's all-time record of 74 home runs hit as a Memphis Redbird. You're looking for that special engagement ring? You're going to get married this summer, this fall? Make sure you check out James Gaddis Jewelers. They are your bridal engagement and anniversary jeweler headquarters. But for all your jewelry needs, whether it be something clean, whether you need your ring refitted, whether you need a something to be appraised, James is a certified appraiser for bracelets and necklaces and earrings and pendants and gemstones of all types and one-of-a-kind estate and vintage jewelry. It's James Gaddis Jewelers.
Some text messages here. Raider Corey says, I heard the Penny interview or tirade. I was very surprised at some of the things he had to say. He sounds very agitated and annoyed by some of the warranted criticisms from fans. Newsflash, no coach is fireproof, even if you're homegrown. Wins and production matter. Yes.
Right on.
They should. Absolutely.
Well, remember this, and let me say, and we're going to get to your calls as well. So 360-8255 for both. Look, Tubby Smith, great man, Hall of Famer, 2 years in Memphis, won a bunch of games, but didn't win big enough and didn't get the excitement brewing in the city and didn't get the fannies in the seats.
Tubby won 21 games his second year here, his last year here.
Right.
And people are arguing about how 22-win season is a great season for Petty Hardaway.
So, the win total, I take, let me finish. The win total I take with a grain of salt. Sure, it's better than winning 12 and 13, so you're having some success. But the win total, you play 31 games, the win total is what, but Tubby didn't excite anybody. Penny excited people. Absolutely all for that move. We all were all for that move. And we still, hope that, again, as Tiger fans or people covering the Tigers, that they have that success. But it's ridiculous to just, people now kind of back off of their expectations. And I think they kind of lower them a little bit. Well, look at all the wins. Yeah, well, a lot of coaches won a lot of games. Pastor won a lot of games.
It's hard not to win. I mean, especially in this conference.
Right.
Josh Pastor won 24, 25, 26, 31, 24 in his first 5 years. And people at that point were unhappy because he wasn't winning enough in the tournament. Like that, I argue about 20-win seasons in college basketball mean nothing, especially in a conference like this. I mean, you've got a certain amount of bye games in your non-conference schedule. And then in a conference like this, I mean, you should walk into the season with about 12 wins that you can't help but have.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying the expectations, I don't think have gotten higher. I think they've gotten a little bit lower.
Penny even talks about the conference as we're in a conference nobody respects. Well, then win the conference. If we're in a tough conference, nobody respects our conference. Yeah, because it's not very good. So just win it. Mm-hmm. And that solves all your problems. You're in the tournament. Tiger Steve, Penny's wanting his reputation from his playing days to bleed over to his coaching days, similar to Finch. He's looking really bad, wanting all the smoke, and now not being able to see through it. It's still bizarre to me that somebody comes in talking about how they want all the smoke, and now this is where we're at, of saying people are personally criticizing him. Another texter says it's hard to argue how someone feels. You have to get what makes them feel the way that they do it. Sometimes it isn't anything concrete, but more so implied. In my opinion, I think Coach's feelings come from genuine shock that he has detractors, period. And that is a bit disappointing in itself to me that he could be that arrogant.
Very interesting, though. That's a very interesting point, that he's shocked that he has detractors.
David says, the ignition is gone. Results in the court are average. Off the court, we're a laughingstock. Another texter says, I think the idea that we need to give Penny more credit for coming straight out of high school and then into college is laughable. He's going into his 7th year of coaching. No one is out to get him. Everybody wants to see him succeed. Most of the criticism that he has endured is just like the coaches before him. He's even being given a longer leash than other coaches would get. Does he not remember the criticism Tubby or Pastor endured, or the for sale signs in Calipari's yard before he went on his crazy run? Everyone endures intense criticism. The criticism he's getting is on par or somewhat less than these previous coaches, which I don't think is a bad thing. I really want to see him succeed, but I also want the complaining and the whining about the criticism to stop because it's exhausting. Drew says, the Penny tenure has been a failure. I'm over it. Ready for him to move on.
And which tells you, again, that we talked about this last week with the coaching search. There could be a new AD announced by the end of this week or early.
Search.
What's that? What did I say?
Coaching search.
I'm sorry, the AD search. Could be a new AD in place by the end of this week, possibly as early as the end of this week, early next week. And that AD walks into a little bit of a firestorm. Not that they're going to make some change going into this season. Nobody's saying that. But again, for the future and what those expectations will be, and that person having a relationship, hopefully a strong working relationship with all the coaches, but in particular with Penny.
Reggie says Penny has to realize that he's here to win, just like every other coach in any sport. If his skin is thin, then he is in the wrong business. I think he should better control some of the things he says. He needs to get off them dumb platforms talking like that. When he's winning, he soaks it up. When he loses, take it personal. Come on, just recruit and coach. He needs to keep receipts of his losses and revenge those.
But the whole question of winning is a little bit confusing because everybody looks at it differently. We've had callers here that say, no, he's basically won enough. He's fine. He's winning 21, 22. And then there's others say, no, it all has to do with the tournament. It's how many games you win in the tournament. If you can't, like you said, if you can't win 20, I mean, it's shocking anymore, especially in that conference. All right, let's go to the Sissy's Log Cabin listener lines, 360-8255, and Jim will start us off. Hi, Jim. Oh, Jim, you there?
Thanks, guys. Thank you for taking my call.
You're welcome.
Lived there 40 years, don't live there now. Always been totally surprised at the firestorm that's created in the middle of June.
Isn't it crazy?
When nothing is going on in basketball. I don't have answers to this, but I listened to the podcast twice. Everybody that is interested in this should listen to that podcast, in my opinion. There are so many overtones to that podcast. I think the poor man is very genuine. What do y'all think?
I thought the comments were quite interesting, to say the least. I think he went a little overboard with saying that basically it'll be the crumbling of the program. He didn't say it in those words, but if he left, they would hit rock bottom. I mean, right now, they're certainly not at the top. There's a lot to go as far as that is concerned. I know that he's personally had, the issues with his mom, and we all feel for him. I don't know who's attacking him personally. He's talking about some of the stories that have been written, but criticism of the program, it shouldn't be looked at as a personal attack. So those are the type of things that I saw, or at least came out of that interview with. What came out of the interview for you, Jim, that's the most poignant?
I was shocked at the honesty, and I admired the honesty in a position that didn't include being the coach of a major university. Jerry West, Nick Saban, whoever you want to talk about, Hubie Brown is never that honest in the media.
Mm-hmm.
Never, because you need a publicist. Stay away from the fray.
Right.
Don't generate this activity.
I've always said that, Jim. I've always said that about Penny Hardaway. He's great for the media because he'll give you some quotes because he shoots from the hip. And going into this offseason, he decided, I think, he was going to keep it close to the vest. He has not made these public appearances that he usually makes and talks to the media. So all of a sudden now he decides, you know what, I'm done with this. I'm going to go on this radio show, who happens to be a friend of mine, and I'm going to unleash. But maybe that's not a good decision either. He's one of those guys where, again, we love the honesty in the media, but sometimes it may hurt him by being so honest, and certainly did here.
Don't you think you should never be this honest?
Yeah, you don't want to piss people off.
I think you can be honest, but I think your honesty is just ignoring the truth, and that's weird.
Well, guys, I played a minor amount of sports there. I played some in college. College coaches are not this honest with their players. They very rarely delve into race and religion.
I agree.
In the way they motivate you.
I
And
agree,
this,
Jim. Yeah.
Unless you really want to create this, the poor man it would be a wonderful politician. Project that. Project that.
Jim, let me roll. Thank you so much. Really appreciate the call. Thank you for listening. Let me squeeze in a few more here before the break. On the other side, we'll talk Grizzlies, switch subjects. Parker Fleming will join us. Melvin is next. Hey, Melvin.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Doing well, thank you.
Yeah. First of all, let me, like people saying win and all that. Eli, I know you didn't compare Tubby 21 win to the win we had this year.
No, but I'm just saying if you're just throwing out the number of wins, like if you're just going to say he wins 22 games a year, well, just look down the history of the program, and every other program, they win 21, 22 games. It's hard not to in college basketball.
Yeah, but winning 22 games, being on a bubble or not, that's a whole, everybody play cupcakes. So you can't compare the wins. Like, okay, the bottom fell out this year, but the team were 4-1 against the SEC, swept the ACC. Like this, every year at the end of the season, penny teams had got better. This year, it blew up.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't have the resume that Arkansas had. They did in the Sweet 16, but they blew up.
But
Missouri,
Melvin, it seems like you're looking for.
game.
It seems like, and I don't mean you personally, but it looks like people are looking for consolation prizes. Well, they had that win and they got that win back in November, but it's still a bottom line business. It's what have you done at the end of the season? Even making the tournament the year before, which I thought was a great coaching job, and I said it repeatedly when they had Kendrick Davis and DeAndre Williams, they still found a way to lose that game in the first round, so they didn't even get a win there. So it's still a bottom line and a bottom line business, and I know the 1 year you can't really count because of COVID. But even if you throw that one out, right, that's 5 years, and it's one tournament win. Would you accept that as I assume you're a Tiger fan, do you accept that?
I mean, it's not the standard, but it's a lot of things that went into that. You lost the COVID year. The next year, there was COVID year, too. We didn't play Houston at home. Y'all forgot that fiasco?
But everybody had to deal with COVID around the country.
And they weren't going to the tournament the COVID year anyway. If they weren't going to make it.
You know that. They split with Houston and Wichita State, all those teams that year. But the next year we didn't play Cincinnati at home, Houston. We didn't get played with Wichita State on the road. We swept them. We beat them by 20 at home. But people, I mean, a lot of people, they don't look at it. They just say 7 years, one tournament win. Those be a hater. Had the football
That's
team
not being a hater
That's
for people to say that.
a fact.
That's not. Come on, Melvin. That's being a hater.
The football team. Wait a minute, had the football team play for a conference championship? Everybody telling me football great now, Penny sucks. The basketball team won a conference championship.
It shouldn't be one or the other. Number one, it shouldn't be one or the other. You're right about not playing for a championship game. That's why, or a championship. That's why this year is pivotal with the high expectations. You're right. I mean, next year at this time, if the football team fails, what you say would be accurate. But let's see. This is the first time they've been in that kind of position. Let's see if they can come through. But, yeah, it was a disappointment that they didn't make the conference championship game last year. But you're looking for again, instead of raising the bar, people are lowering the bar for the program.
Man, the game is shy. It's not no excuse. I get it. Yeah, like I said, it fell out last year. We were 15-2. Greg, you called the Clemson game. I remember I was at those games. And I'm not making an excuse. I was saying then, I was like, man, David Jones, he shoot too much. He's terrible, but then he'll score like 15 in a row, and we'll come back and win it. Once the conference turned, those teams, they had the film on it, and they intended to adjust, and it backfired. Mm-hmm. So yeah, he didn't adjust. Like he made big mistakes. I felt like he should have did something then, like in the conference tournament. Walton wore 2 of 9. Quinlan was 3 of 13.
Right.
I called him and said, every guy, if Quinlan's not good, we're going to lose. But he didn't adjust.
But doesn't that, you're right, Melvin. I remember all your calls, and we got to run. But it still comes down on the coach, right? And still the bottom line is whatever happens to the program goes through the coach. The coach is the CEO.
What I can say, out of this year, I mean, we don't make it. We need to win the conference. You know what I'm saying? We need to make a turn around, at least win a game. We need to make a Sweet 16, but at least get it back. Or we got to. I'm being honest. We got to have a serious conversation. That's on both sides.
Okay, gotcha. No, that's fair enough.
We can't win conference championships in both sports this year. We got to have a positive.
Thank you, my friend. I got you. All right, appreciate it, Melvin. Let me squeeze one more in with Greg. Greg, how are you?
Hello.
Hey, you're on, Greg.
Oh, okay. Man, I've been listening to your comments and the callers. It's kind of depressing. Personally, the way I feel about it, I think, the program and Penny need to go separate ways. I don't believe in all this pull and push and pull and push on opinions with Penny. It's a lot went into what Penny's success and his failures at this program. And instead of seeing this program degenerate to where it's at right now, given those circumstances and given the opinions that people have, I think they just need to just go ahead on part ways right now.
Thank you, Greg.
If
Appreciate
you don't
the phone
need me, let me move on, and I wish you luck.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Greg. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there at the end. And again, that's one person's opinion. I disagree with that opinion. Again, you have a new AD coming in. It's status quo now. There's nothing's going to happen, and he doesn't deserve that. But again, the more you coach, the more expectations are that you're going to get to the tournament. Once every 6-7 years is a little low, I think, for Memphis basketball. We've had these conversations before about what the expectations are, especially in this conference. Houston gone, Cincinnati gone. I mean, come on. You should be in the NCAA tournament. Some people say every year, but it's certainly I go one every 2 years. And if that's the case, it would be 3 out of 6. They've been there twice out of 6.
In this conference, there should be way more than 50% of the time. Well, they should win this conference basically every year.
Well, I'd say, let's say 3 out of 4, 4 out of 5, right? I'm not going to say every single year because things happen. I mean, last year, I don't know. I mean, they had a key injury, but they should have been able to overcome a key injury. Caleb Mills going down seemed to just completely disrupt everything that was going on. But you have to make adjustments. You have to have the personnel in there. You have to make the right decisions. Who's going to replace them? If you have to change strategy, you have to change strategy, which is what Melvin was kind of alluding to earlier. Corky's Ribs and Barbecue, great option today for lunch or for dinner. You can dine in at any of their 4 establishments. You can drive through, no contact delivery, carry out, go in there, pick it up. Just great people. I was there the other day. Just fantastic employees at the Corky's in East Memphis. I know there's fantastic employees at all 4 of their establishments, but man, oh man, I go to East Memphis, Corky's, and a smile on everybody's face. Just love the atmosphere there at Corky's. You could also have them cater any event you got coming up this summer, this fall. Just call them and ask them about their catering services. There's a lunch special every day, party packs that start at just $7.49. They're located at Poplar Avenue in Memphis, Poplar Avenue in Collierville, Germantown Parkway in Cordova, Goodman Road in Olive Branch. Corky's Ribs and Barbecue, open for lunch and dinner 7 days a week. When we come back, we're talking Grizzlies. Parker Fleming will join us. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
We are Real Sports Talk. Sports 56 WHBQ. Available on your radio dial at 560 AM and 98.5 FM, as well as around the world online at sports56whbq.com. Take us with you everywhere by downloading the Sports 56 app. And at home, just say, Alexa, play Sports 56. Wherever you are, stay tuned in to Real Sports Talk. Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Top Gun is the largest indoor range in the Mid-South, but size isn't their only difference. Top Gun has the best instructors with over 300 years combined experience and classes all the way from first shot to master marksmanship. Plus, Top Gun is affordable. Gold membership is just $48 a month. That's just $1.60 a day for unlimited range time. Free gun rentals with purchase of ammo and members lounge access. Top Gun 2770 Witten Road and TopGunMemphis.com. Always shoot with the best. Top Gun Memphis.
Marty McNade at Gossett Volkswagen Germantown is turning back prices to give you the best deal in this decade.
Doc gave me orders to turn back time with the 2024 Volkswagen Jetta SE. We got it for $249 a month, and it gets 42 miles per gallon highway. That's much better than my DeLorean, Randy.
You got that right, Marty McNade. And I hear at Gossett Volkswagen Germantown, you got choices.
Take your pick from 2024 Tiguan S front-wheel drive or 2024 Teos SE for $279.28 a month.
Great Scott, McNade. That's Gossett Volkswagen Germantown on Winchester Road. Plus, get 0% for 60 months on Taos.
Your future's whatever you make out of Randy, so get to Gossett Volkswagen Germantown, 7420 Winchester Road, or shop online at GossettVWG.com.
Rick's Powder Coating for a beautiful finish every time. Rick's Powder Coating specializes in automotive, ornamental, residential, and industrial coating. With 2 conveyor lines and the largest batch ovens in the Mid-South, Rick's can accommodate all of your powder coating needs. Locally owned and operated since 2002, Rick's Powder Coating will customize a beautiful finish just for you. Drop by or call to see how Rick's Powder Coating can bring color to your life. 901-367-2771 or rickspowdercoating.com.
As you know, summer is right around the corner, and for most people, that means more activities, more golf, more biking, more of whatever you love to do. But if you're dealing with aches and pains, your more could become less. This is why I'm here to tell you about Relief Factor. Relief Factor is a daily supplement that helps fight pain naturally. For instance, I was sent Relief Factor to try, and I've been taking it every single day. I'll tell you what, I feel the difference every day. You see, instead of masking your pain, Relief Factor's formula is designed to help reduce or even eliminate it. It's 100% drug-free, and it's been a game changer for so many people. So let's get after it this summer. Let's feel good. Let's do more of the things that we love to do. Don't let pain keep you down. Give Relief Factor a try and save on your first order. Go to ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4RELIEF. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF. Help fight pain naturally with Relief Factor. These products and statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or condition.
All 650 acquisition fee, Telluride RG 510849, MSRP 38305, Forte LXS RE 780 169, MSRP 21820. Includes all rebates and incentives. Must finance through Hyundai. Excludes tax title and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 6/30/2024 with approved credit. Dealer stock only.
Hey, Jeff, I hear you've got the Kia Summer Sticker Sales event going on right now at Gossett Kia South on Mount Moriah. Give me some scoop.
Randy, the scoop is I'm ready to put you in a new Kia for less. 2024 Kia Forte LXS 41 MPG Highway, $199 a month, $34.99 due at signing. How about a 2024 Kia Telluride LX 357 a month, $39.99 due at signing, 24-month lease.
Plus 0% for 48 months on 2024 EV9. And every Gossett Kia comes with a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty.
So whether you live in Horn Lake, South Haven, Olive Branch, or Memphis, you'll be happy at Gossett Kia South on Mount Moriah.
Gossett Kia South, 2680 Mount Moriah, or online anytime. KiaMountMoriah.com.
Listen each and every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. and join Ottawa Presbyterian Church for worship. Ottawa is a PCUSA church located in town, Memphis.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good morning. Still working with a couple of minor accidents. Still a bit of volume over here from time to time on 240 east and westbound around Walnut Grove. It's back open now on the 55 bridge. That's helping a lot with that traffic flow coming over from West Memphis. Traffic's on the increase here in the last few minutes. 55 northbound out of DeSoto County up to South Haven. Hey, 24/7 reliable crane and rigging services right here in the Memphis area. Tomahawk Crane and Rigging. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
To Sports 56 mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by James Gaddis Jewelers.
Genuine diamonds, baby.
Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
By the way, real quick before we talk Grizzlies with Parker Fleming, John Rothstein tweeted this out, I think Friday, that the Division I Council will vote this week on whether or not 2 public exhibition games against other D1 programs could replace closed scrimmages and exhibitions against non-D1 opponents during the preseason. That would be something. Instead of the super secret scrimmage that some teams now have, or the years that Memphis would play Christian Brothers or Lemoyne Owen or Lane College and play 2 of them, they could actually have 2 exhibition games against other D1 opponents. That would really give you an indication, at least early on, where you stood.
Yeah, it would be great. I mean, right, you could do one. I guess you could just do one right now. I don't know what exactly the rule is right now.
One closed.
Well, you can do an exhibition. The teams have been doing exhibitions. The Tigers had an exhibition against Alabama scheduled a few years ago. They had to cancel because of COVID. But like last year, Arkansas played who the hell they played? Tennessee played something like they
publicly, and they sold tickets.
Yes.
Oh, I'm just reading what it says.
I think you could only do one of them. Maybe, I don't know.
Well, it says the D1 Council will vote next week on whether or not two public exhibition games. So maybe they did one, but I didn't know. Memphis has never had one, right? They haven't. I can't think of one that they've done.
Yeah, they canceled the one against Alabama. I think that was the year out of COVID, or what? I think the year after COVID, or whatever.
But you're saying it's been in existence now 3-4 years, but I don't remember one that Memphis has done. Is it only because Penny has wanted to give the money to?
Yeah, I have no idea. Again, they had one scheduled. They canceled. So they could have scheduled others, and they chose not to. I don't know. Maybe I don't know why they didn't do it, but they did have one scheduled.
Well, again, if you get two exhibition games, and I guess the thought would be one would be at home and one would be away, but you can get that gate for a good opponent as an exhibition opponent, that's fantastic. That helps your home schedule if you can do that. So, again, they'll get some vote in is expected this week. If the D1 Council votes it in, I'm not sure if there's another hoop they got to jump through. All right, without further ado, what a week. The Grizzlies and the rest of the NBA getting ready for the draft, which begins on Wednesday. Remember, this year, for the first time, 2 days. Round 1 on Wednesday, round 2 on Thursday. And it's always great to talk Grizzlies with Parker Fleming, who covers the Grizzlies, writes for the Grizzlies at Subsockelitis. You can follow him on Twitter at Paca_Flocka. And Parker joins us now on Sports 56 Mornings. Hey, Parker.
Yo, Greg, what's going on?
How are you, man? How about the draft? You're going well beyond coverage of the Grizzlies as you have put together your first ever NBA draft guide. How can people get a hold of that?
Yeah, so I just posted it on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it now. I'll post. It's going to be going up on my Substack here in a moment. But I mean, any social media platform you'll have, I will end up putting the draft guide on it. But it's one of those things, Greg, where I try to grow in some way every single year, try to add different stuff to what I do with my basketball coverage. And, we didn't get to cover the playoffs this year because the Memphis Grizzlies weren't in it. And so I'm like, okay, let me just expand on my draft coverage because this is a good year to do it. I have the time to do it. Let's see what we can cook up here. And, it was a fun process for sure. I mean, a lot of moments where I felt like an absolute sicko. I'm over here, with the finals on in the background, watching film on Nikola Durčić from one of the Serbian leagues. I'm watching film on Zachary Richiche, Tijan Salon, and playoffs on in the background. And I'm also rewatching UConn's NCAA tournament run. So. Yeah, a lot of moments where I'm watching a crap ton of basketball, but it's very rewarding. I'm happy about how it turned out. I'm happy about the early returns and feedback I've gotten on it. So, yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun to cover and really go deep into this draft.
So with it a couple of days away, what's your feeling right now on what you think the Grizzlies will do? Will they pick at 9? Will they trade up, trade down? What's your feeling right now what they will do?
I think they're going to trade up because I'm just going to go off of what we've known since 2019, since Zach Kleiman took over. The only first-round pick that he has stayed at since 2019 was picking John Moran at 2, which we can all say was the easiest decision he's probably ever had to make. And I think he's traded up from every first-round pick, except from last year with Marcus Smart. We're trading for Marcus Smart.
Mm-hmm.
But I just think it's one of those things that would be very unlike this front office to just kind of let the board fall where it may. And, whether it's – it's one of those things where everyone keeps saying, oh, they're trading up for Klingon, which, I think that's more of the Grizzlies have the 9th pick. They're calling about trading up. They need a big man. They must want Donovan Klingon. I don't think it's necessarily saying, the Grizzlies are calling teams because they want to trade up for Donovan Klingon. why would you show your hand like that? That's very unlike most front offices. But yeah, I think they trade up, whether it's for Donovan Clingan. If they get up to 3, I think they're trying to get Reed Shepherd or Stephon Castle. But I think 3 is more of them saying, let's be able to work with the entire board. Because, like, who knows? Maybe Atlanta shocks everyone and takes and the rumors are true. They take Donovan Clingan. Alex Sark goes 2. And next thing you know, Zachary Richeche is available at 3. And, you know, San Antonio has been linked to Zachary Richeche. What if Memphis is able to get something from San Antonio to swap the 3rd and 4th pick or something? So I think it's more about opening up new opportunities instead of just letting the board come to you. So that's why I think they ultimately trade up. And my gut prospect is they go for Clingan.
All right, so I agree with you. I think there'll be some sort of move, whether it's up, whether it's down, depending on what's going on Wednesday night. But I think that's a good bet. I really believe, maybe it's I bought into the smoke. I really believe that the Hawks are taking Clingan. I really do. And so if the Grizzlies are zeroing in on Clingan and only Clingan, then they're not going to move up because I think he's going to be taking 1. Now, if he's available there at 3, I think it makes a lot of sense. But you also brought up Reed Shepherd. You brought up Stephon Castle. What are we talking about here? What would it take in your mind for the Grizzlies to move up from 9 to 3 to take one of those guys? What would they have to give up?
See, I don't think moving up to 3 is that realistic because I did a piece last week on Substack Elitis breaking down what kind of trades we can see at 9. I put together the intel from various outlets. None of my intel is and I credited the various outlets that I put out intel, but I also used the historical context of what kind of trades have we seen within the top 10 the past 10 drafts. And when you look at trades between two teams both possessing top 10 picks, the widest gap was 4 picks, and that was with the Pelicans and Hawks in 2019. And they had elements of that trade that the Grizzlies are probably not interested in doing. They had a salary dump, which is, hey, we'll move down, but you got to take this salary.
Mm-hmm.
But also, too, the team trading up also had another pick in the top 20. So I don't think they move up 6 spots. But I've seen some trades, ideas float around. You saw that public negotiation type intel from the Athletics, Kelly Iko, saying the Ime Udoka is a big fan of Marcus Smart, which is like, oh yeah, like of course he is, because Marcus Smart was a defensive player of the year on the team that Ime Udoka coached to the finals. Of course he's a fan of Marcus Smart. But I also saw, I think it was from a podcast with Kelly Iko, he had suggested something like Luke Kennard, the 9th pick, and a lottery-protected pick next year from the Grizzlies for the number 3 pick, Jock Landale, who's a non-guaranteed contract, so the Grizzlies could just cut him and would open up, actually, it would get them under the tax to open up the full mid-level. So I was like, that's interesting. And then Jay Sean Tate, who has a $7 million expiring contract.
Mm-hmm.
That is something that I could potentially see, but it's so far-fetched for them to move up 3, just based off the historical context of what we've seen with pick swaps.
When it comes to Clingan, what do you feel about him as a player in the NBA and compared to the other bigs that are going to be likely going high in this?
Yeah, so I have Clingan high. I have him 3rd on my overall board. When it comes to Grizzly-centric prospects, obviously aside from Sarr, who will go 1 or 2, I have Donovan Clingan as the top prospect on the board. Obviously, he's going to have mobility issues, as do most big men that are 7 foot plus and 280 pounds. But his rim protection is elite. I mean, there's a reason why he's compared to guys like Rudy Gobert, is because he knows how to influence shots, whether it's blocks, altering shots, deterring shots, because of his size. And then the thing that also stands out, too, is his offensive role is already so scalable because he's not getting getting force fed in the post 25 times a game.
Mm-hmm.
He's operating around the elbows. He's operating at the top of the key and dribble handoff actions. He's hitting cutters. He's setting screens. He's doing a lot of the stuff that Grizzlies big men have typically done in a Taylor Jenkins system. And frankly, in most NBA systems, I think it was a couple years ago, Steven Adams had a really cool answer about how the game has grown for big men operating in more like delay and split actions. But I think Donovan Clingan is one of the most surefire players in this draft. And I know you said you believe in the smoke, you think he's going 1. I think it's one of those things. If he doesn't go 1, he's totally attainable because I don't see him going 2 because I think it's going to be Sarr. Don't see him going 3 because Rockets have Şengün and Adams unless there's a trade. San Antonio at 4, I think they're taking Castle.
They just worked him
Detroit
out,
at
by
5.
the way. They just worked out Donovan Clingan. That's a big story now that they might want to go Twin Towers. Remember, they have the 2 picks in the top 10.
Yeah, so I saw that, and I'm trying to see what else was said. Apparently, also teams think that this might be a case of the Spurs trying to signal to other teams that if you want to trade up for Clingan, 4 is where you got to get him. So I think it might be a up the offers kind of dealio because, Stephon Castle's still in the mocks. ESPN still has Clingan at 7. Like all this talk about, Clingan can go 1. He's a top 3 prospect, but they still have him 7.
No, I hear that, but I'm telling you, they're missing. If he slides, they're missing the boat. They're missing the boat on this guy. I think personally. But let me ask you this: give me a quick answer. I got another question for you. Quick answer to this: after Clingan, and you don't count Sarr, because Sarr wants to play power forward basically. But after Clingan, who are your next 3 in order centers?
Centers: Zach Edey, Yves Missy, and then Deron Holmes from Dayton. Those are my next 3 guys. Do you want me to go rapid fire on each of those 3 guys, or did you just want a short answer?
No, I just wanted the short answer. But so you got Edey. But would you even dare take Edey at 9?
I've warmed up to it. Yeah, if you asked me a month ago, I would have said no.
Wow.
But I've warmed up to it because here's the thing with how the board's laying out. I love Devin Carter. I'm just cautious on taking another 6'3" guard, which again, I can't say much about that because I love Reed Shepherd. In fact, he's like my 1B to Clingan's 1A. But Clingan's also an elite shooter. But also, Devin Carter, elite rebounder for his size and elite generating defensive events. I could be sold on Devin Carter. I think I really like Ron Holland. I kind of like Cody Williams, but I think they're ultimately too raw to contribute early. Don't want Topic. The knee thing scares me. I don't think he's a good defender either.
Do you like Connect? Do you like Connect if he's there at 9?
If he's there at 9, sure. Why not? You already have the decision you got to make with Luke Kennard. Connect, plug-and-play guy. I would be cool with Connect. With Edey, there's that clear pathway for him to become a starting center. And at first I was operating under the mindset of what does his game look like when he's not force-fed post attempts? I think he had 200 more post-ups than the NBA's leader in post-ups, and he played even less than half the games. And also, too, I was like, what does the game look like when he's not generating all these fouls? But at the end of the day, I kind of warmed up to okay, he's an elite rebounder. He needs to block more shots and needs to react quicker defensively, but he could be an awesome drop defender. And if you have Jaren Jackson Jr., that alleviates some of those concerns you may have with Edey. He's going to be massive for setting screens. He's going to get offensive rebounds. I think with a point guard like Ja, you would shoot 75% from the field. So,
all right.
It's one of those. For me, it's one of those. I'm not in love with having the 9th pick. So, this is more of a why not? You already know that I think he has a higher floor than people realize. I don't think he's at all a Boban or Taco Fall kind of guy because he has so much skill. He has so much skill for a guy his size. So, if they can't find a trade up, they can't find the right trade down, and they're like, okay, let's take Zach Edey at 9. I'd be like, all right, cool. Because I think Zach Edey, he has an interesting skill set. And I see a lot of people that have him high are like he's an outlier. Like, yeah, we don't know who he can guard, but like who can guard him?
All right.
I told their mock draft, and a workout guy said that guarding him was like trying to guard Shaquille O'Neal because of how big he was. So why not? That's how I would react with Zach Edey. Why not?
Parker, great stuff. We're up against the break. Real quick, tell everybody about Subsack-Elitis.
Yeah, Subsack-Elitis is my Memphis Grizzlies Substack. We'll probably start sprinkling some draft stuff over the coming years. If you decide to be a paid subscriber, it all goes to St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. But if you just want to subscribe for free, get it in your inbox, that's fine too. You can read absolutely everything. There's nothing behind a paywall. Anything that you give just is out of the goodness of your heart. It goes to St. Jude Children's Research Hospital.
Fantastic, as always. Great cause, as we know. Parker, enjoy the draft. We'll talk, I'm sure, soon about the results for the Grizzlies. Appreciate your time.
Yes, sir, Greg. Thank you very much.
Take care.
Summer is officially here. It's in full swing. The 4th of July holiday is coming next week. Folks are going to be having pool parties. They're outside. They're working on that grill. They're firing up the grill. And when you're firing up the grill, well, you need charcoal. You need the wood chunks. You need all kinds of different things. And the place to get it all, well, that's Memphis Barbecue Supply. They've got 9 different types of wood, chips, chunks, mini logs, whatever, all the different flavors of wood. You've got those. They've got their loose bins where you can mix and match with whatever combination you need for whatever you're grilling. They've got, of course, charcoal. 10 different brands of charcoal in stock, whether it be lump charcoal or briquette charcoal. They've got you taken care of. For those of you with the pellet grills, well, they got over 2 tons of pellets in stock, 12 different flavors and blends, all of these things. Plus, rubs, sauces, injections, supplies, whatever it is, they've got you taken care of at Memphis Barbecue Supply. Plus, they've got a great staff. Jimmy and the staff over there, award-winning pit masters, to answer any questions you might have to help you with your cook. So, become that grilling expert. Get the help. Get all your supplies. Get everything you need at Memphis Barbecue Supply. They're at 7041 Stage Road. Online, mbbqsupply.com. Memphis Barbecue Supply.
You're tuned in to Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Add a little fun to your lunch break. Join Johnny Radio for Sports 56 Happy Hour from 11 to 1 every weekday on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Aha, June. It's wedding season.
It is.
Or as I like to call it, Free Central Barbecue Month.
Who's what now?
Well, not that I don't enjoy weddings. I do, especially the ones that I can tell are going to be a disaster. But what I love about weddings is that so many people choose Central Barbecue to cater the food at the reception.
You root for marriages to fail?
Not exactly root. I just enjoy drama and free barbecue. I like to sit there and enjoy my plate of Central Barbecue with beans and slaw and wait for things to blow up.
At the reception?
Ideally. I mean, I won't be around to see it otherwise. Plus, free Central Barbecue.
You or someone you know or care about has dealt with a difficult divorce. When facing divorce, you need the attorneys at Rice Law. Nick and Larry Rice lead the firm with 3 generations and 7 decades of experience. Located in Memphis, serving the entire state of Tennessee and North Mississippi. Rice Law is who you need to call. Simple or difficult divorce, they know how to handle it. Call Rice Law at 901-526-6701, or for more information, visit them at aboutdivorce.com. That's aboutdivorce.com.
It's the Kia Summer Sticker Sales Event. It's going strong at Gossett Kia on the Pike. Are you ready to ride in your new Kia with 41 MPG Highway? We Gossett! 2024 Kia Forte LXS, $199 a month, $34.99 to a signing. How about 282 miles of EPA estimated range with new 2023 Kia EV6 Win, $249 a month. And 2024 Kia Telluride LX 357 a month, both $39.99 due at signing, all 24-month lease. And get peace of mind with Kia's 10-year 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. Call Bobby J. He's ready to put you in your new Kia today. Gossett Kia, 1900 Covington Pike, online, KiaCovingtonPike.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
Rebates and incentives. Lease includes PF 695, 650 acquisition fee, EV6 P561 0964, MSRP 50,200, Telluride RG 510 849, MSRP 38305, Forte LXS RE 780 169, MSRP 21820. Plus finance through Hyundai. Excludes tax title and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 6/30/2024 with approved credit, dealer stock only.
Summertime's finally here, and that means it's time to party. Lucky for you, Family Leisure is having a summertime to party sale. Now, what's all included in this party sale? Practically everything. 24-foot above ground pools for as little as $19.99. All
starts while the supplies last, so you better get in quick. Plus, Family Leisure has special financing available. Just ask an associate for all the details. Summertime means party time, and Family Leisure is ready for any party. Family Leisure, Whitten Road at I-40, where family and fun all come together. Jenkins Floors and More invite you to their retail warehouse where they pass wholesale savings on to you. Jenkins Floors in Little Rock, Cleveland, Mississippi, and now open in Horn Lake at 2356 West Goodman Road. Specializing in flooring and carpeting, tile, plantation shutters, and blinds, Jenkins makes your life easy with a 2-week turnaround. Contractors, builders, or family projects, call 662-469-9350 for a free estimate. Owners Timmy and Rebecca Jenkins say hello to Sports 56 fans and look forward to your business.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by James Gaddis Jewelers.
Diamonds are forever.
Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
So according to Shams, the Cavaliers are set to present a 4-year, $209 million max contract to Donovan Mitchell. Not a surprise that they're going to offer him the max. But Captain Math will tell you that's over $52 million per season.
That's where contracts are now.
I know. We were talking about last week football contracts with the wide receivers and the quarterbacks and where they are now. NBA. And then, of course, the world of golf, which we'll talk about in Hour 3, and Scotty Scheffler. The rich just get richer. But there you go.
You know, like, when Ja's contract is up and he gets his new one, as long as there are no issues or whatever, and he like his next max contract, I don't even know what his final salary will be like at the end of that, but it'll be probably $80-90 million a year.
Well, it's not his next max, right? Because he wasn't able to max this one, correct?
We get the max. He doesn't get a super max.
The super max. This one, he would be able to get the super max. You're thinking it's about $80-90 million
By the end of those contracts,
year?
yeah, with the way with this new TV deal where the salary cap's going to go, I mean, guys are going to be they'll be getting probably close to $100 million a year.
What do you think the cap will be? What do you think the payroll for each team that puts them in the tax? What are we talking about here?
Well, they can only go up, I think, 10% every year, but it's going to be going up 10% pretty much every year. So next year is at whatever next year, 170 or whatever, 172, and it's going to be going up basically 10%, I think, just about every year with this new TV deal.
And he has, now that he signed the max, 3 more years? Including the season, or 3 more not including
his
the season?
kick in last year. I think his kicked in last year, so I think he has 3 more years.
Yeah. Wow. By the way, John Morant sighting over the weekend. Good story by Drew Hill. As he had his camp. All smiles. Looks great as far as the health front is concerned. On target. Not sure whether or not he'll make the appearance this week at the NBA draft, but it's all good. It's all systems go, it seems like, for John Morant.
He has 4 more years left.
4 more, including this year.
Yes.
Yes, okay. And he said that it was a smashing success, the camp. He really appreciated Memphis coming through for him, and that's great. It has been a weird couple of years with John Morant. And to have him back healthy, 100% committed. If you believe everything he says, you're bought in on it. I'm bought in on it. Hopefully we don't get snookered. And he's ready to go and lead this team. And we'll see what moves they make to give them the opportunity to make another run, and a legitimate run in the postseason where hopefully everybody is healthy. There's no issues. But, yeah, it was a great weekend for John Morant. Also, speaking of money, I think I want to back the Brinks truck up today and bet Tennessee to win the College Baseball World Series title. After Texas A&M won Game 1, 9-5, in a shootout where they just exploded early, yesterday was a pitcher's duel. Vols down 1-0 after 6 innings, and then put 4 on the board to win 4-1. To me, that shifted everything, the whole momentum. And I think they win today convincingly and win the World Series title. Either way, we're getting a fifth different in a row SEC baseball champion.
Yeah, should be a good game. It's the pitching of Texas A&M certainly has been fantastic, but Tennessee able to get a couple of home runs late in game one to make it a little bit closer. Then they hit the 2 home runs late yesterday after being stymied for most of the day. The 2 starting pitchers are going today. Both are on 4 days rest. These 2 teams, the fact that they rolled through undefeated, didn't have to use as much pitching. For Texas A&M, they're hoping to get late in the game with the lead so they could bring in the closer, who is outstanding, and try and sew it up that way. But he threw he had to throw close to 40 pitches on Saturday night, I think it was. So even if they do go to him, how much can he give them? How early would they try to go to him if they do have the lead? So it'll be interesting. But yeah, it should be a fun game. And Tennessee, again, I assume they're the favorite for today's game. I haven't looked at the line, but they are, again, the number 1 seed and have been the favorite all year or all postseason. So I would assume they're probably the favorite in this game.
6 o'clock tonight from Omaha. When we come back, hour number 3 of the program, we'll take your calls and texts on the Sissy's Log Cabin listener lines at 901-360-8255. We talked a lot about Penny and his comments from Friday, the Tigers landing one of the biggest commitments in the history of their program in Antoine Hill Jr., who, again, is scheduled to join us on the program tomorrow. We talk Grizzlies and the NBA draft. We'd love to hear from you on that. We got a lot from the golf world, both on and off the course. That's coming up in hour number 3, and we'll talk a little Stanley Cup Finals as well. Game 7. It all comes down to one final game. I hope it's going to go to overtime, because then you got the sudden death overtime to win the Stanley Cup. Not much better than that in the world of sports.
Based on the projections right now, if with these new TV deals again, which aren't official, but if the cap goes up 10% annually, starting in 2025-26 onward, by 2028-29, a player would be able to sign a 5-year max contract. It would be over $400 million.
The rich get richer. Hour 3 on the way. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
I'm Gary York. I'm the service director at Lexus in Memphis. Our service department wants to be more than just a place where you get your oil changed. We do glass repair, windshield replacement, recalibration of your camera and sonar systems, even wheel repair, tire replacement, all the things you would expect from a luxury automotive dealer. Please check out our website. You can schedule your appointment, check out our specials, hours of operation, or if you'd like to do it in person, please reach out to one of our associates at 901-271-5199.
This 4th of July, celebrate freedom with your favorite barbecue store, Memphis Barbecue Supply. Whether you're a grilling novice or a seasoned pitmaster, Memphis Barbecue Supply has everything you need to make this Independence Day unforgettable. From a wide selection of premium chip, chunk, mini logs, pellets, and logs of wood, and over 378 different rubs, sauces, injections, and glazes to choose from. Here at Memphis Barbecue Supply, we have everything but the meat. You can stop by anytime. We're open 7 days a week for your convenience. Our knowledgeable, award-winning pitmasters on staff are more than happy to assist you with any questions you have for your next cook. Memphis Barbecue Supply is located at 7041 Stage Road in Memphis. Or you can order online at mbbqsupply.com. Follow us on all the social media platforms for recipes, new products, and barbecue news.
That's right, Randy. I've got 2024 Ram 1500 trade
MSRP 48,595. Jeep RL 116172, MSRP 51,690. Charger PH 612,877, MSRP 55,110. Price includes all rebates and incentives and excludes PF 695. Payments include PF 695. All exclude tax, title, and license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details. Dealer stock only.
We are Sports 56, WHBC Memphis, Memphis, Broadcasting Stations. Sports 56 traffic.
Good morning. Working with a couple of accidents out here. A little bit of volume still over here on 240 east and west around Walnut Grove. Yes, the 55 bridge back open. That's helping quite a bit for folks coming over from West Memphis. That'll take a lot of pressure out that I-40 Hernando DeSoto bridge. Hey, Weimer's Jewelry, 7525 Highway 64. Your full-service family-owned jewelry store here in Memphis. Go by and see them today. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now back to Sports 56 mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by Jenkins Floors and More. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Welcome back, everyone. 9:04 the time. Hour 3. It's been an eventful Monday. We thank you for all your calls and texts, and we'll continue to take them here in this third hour. It's the Monday, June 24th, 2024 edition of the program. Greg Gaston, Eli Savoy, and Zach Boyd with you in the Family Leisure Studios. Family Leisure, 2120 Witten Road, just north of I-40. Heat advisory in effect, another scorcher, 81 right now. It'll be 97 before it's all said and done. With the high humidity, the heat index well into the triple figures. And then tonight, 76 for a low, clear skies. We're looking at a high of 98 tomorrow. More of the same. Again, heat advisory will be in effect, so be very careful out there. Jenkins Floors and More, third hour sponsor of Sports 56 Mornings. Their new warehouse is open at 2356 Goodman Road in Horn Lake. They also have stores in Cleveland, Mississippi, where they began about 8 years ago, and Little Rock. Family-owned and operated local business. They specialize in flooring and carpeting. They have everything from the SPC and WPC vinyls, the scratch-resistant waterproof vinyls, to hardwoods by Portercraft, to carpeting from Southern Luxury Carpet, and they sell it wholesale. They'll skip the middleman, save you lots of money. So for both residential and commercial, contractors out there, do yourself a favor, buy it wholesale, take care of the job. You're going to make a lot more money than you would, again, at some other places purchasing the flooring and carpeting. And for homeowners, if you could do it yourself, makes a lot of sense to buy from Jenkins Floors and More. But also, if you want them to get the job done for you, they can do that. They will come to you with a free estimate, show you the free samples of what it may look like and what it will look like, actually, and they'll get it turned around in 2 weeks. So they'll have the job done in 2 weeks. Jenkins Floors and More. Give them a call today, 662-469-9350. They're open Monday through Saturday, or stop by one of their 3 locations, including their new warehouse at 2356 Goodman Road in Horn Lake, Mississippi.
Tennessee is a minus 260 favorite today, so massive favorite.
Wow. Man, I was hoping for a little bit better odds there. Minus 260. I mean, the momentum has completely changed. Texas A&M has a 1-0 lead through 6 innings in Game 2, 3 innings away from wrapping it up, and Tennessee explodes for the 4 runs. Tonight, Game 7, Stanley Cup Finals, Edmonton at Florida. That has been a wild series, with Florida winning the first 3, Edmonton coming back, winning the next 3 in dominant fashion. So something has to give tonight in that one. From the world of golf, we had the craziness at the Travelers, the final elevated event on the PGA Tour. The craziness, and I'm not talking about Scottie Scheffler winning for the 6th time this year, which we'll talk about in a moment, but 6 climate protesters stormed the 18th green and startled certainly everybody there. The 3 that were there were the final grouping of Tom Kim, Scottie Scheffler, and Bhatia. And Ashke Bhatia said he was afraid for his life. He didn't know what was going on. And what did they do? They had like smoke canisters, or what did they throw?
Yeah, some sort of smoke bombs or whatever.
Security was quick, though, to get them off.
Oh, cops were chasing the guy through the bunker.
One guy had a good tackle, nice little tackle.
Scheffler probably a little worried when he saw cops running towards him.
Yeah, I saw that on Twitter.
But he was he actually looked around and started laughing like at him and Tom Kim were like laughing like what the hell's going on? This is bizarre stuff.
Interesting they picked the Travelers to do that, but
that's it's a weird thing, but the security, the police did their job.
They certainly did this time around. And the I'm kidding with the Louisville situation, but the it tells you about or shows the popularity of golf. The climate protesters figured, this is a good forum to go ahead and try to make our point. Then, of course, Kim is able to force the playoff and had the momentum going in, but do you really have the momentum when you're going up against Scotty freaking Scheffler? Again, 6th win of the year. He wins the Masters for the second time. He wins the Players, and he wins 4 elevated events. What is his total now? On-course earnings this season?
Just under $28 million.
Man, oh man. Unbelievable.
He has already gotten to 7th on the career money list on the PGA Tour. Like it's.
And he's how old now? 28?
Somewhere around there.
Zach, can you look up the age of Scotty Scheffler? Is he even 28? I mean, he's somewhere in that neighborhood. Might be a little younger. But he's the best player in the world. Again, I don't know how charismatic he is. I don't think he's really charismatic. But it'd be nice, have a little bit more personality. But he is a very quiet guy. He's a family guy. I mean, he has now a little baby. Been married for several years, but he is a great ambassador. If you're looking for great golf, you got it. That leaderboard was incredible. Going into Sunday, how stacked up they were. Schauffele came out of nowhere. He was right there. Feel a little bad for Tom Kim. I like Tom Kim a lot.
He just turned 28.
Okay, so I was
right.
His
birthday. So basically, this tournament was his birthday.
Yeah, him and Tom Kim, who are really good friends. I think both had their birthday was Friday.
Yeah.
I think both of them have the same birthday.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
And they're really good friends, and they end up playing together, going to the playoff against each other after both celebrated their birthdays.
Also, you had on Saturday, Cameron Young shooting a 59. Not too shabby.
Yeah, it's as they say, these guys are good. They are really, really good.
There's some really good players on the Live Tour as well, and I actually went to the event in Nashville. It was actually in College Grove at a beautiful golf course, and Terrell Hatton put on a show as he won Going Away, the Live event in Nashville. It was the first time they were in Nashville, so now a Live event in Tennessee. Obviously, we have our great event here in Memphis, the FedEx St. Jude Championship, but I thought they did a nice job. It's not the PGA Tour, but I thought they did a very nice job. It's very different. It's more of a party atmosphere. It's strange with the shotgun start, and they count down, and they shoot off fireworks and things of that nature right before they start hitting. And there's a lot of music blasting. There's the big party hole where it's music and just reveling. It's almost exactly like Waste Management. Was it hole 16?
Mm-hmm.
But there are some that still need to get used to this, including Jon Rahm, the latest big name to defect the PGA Tour and go to the Live. So there's a video of him hitting one into the water and dropping an F-bomb on the broadcast. But he also looks up into the sky after he hits. And it's a drone. And there were a bunch of drones. I saw a bunch of drones out there. And his quote was, "Every tournament, it's effing incredible. Right on my backswing. These effing drones every time." It almost seems like Jon Rahm is regretting the decision. His bank account's not. But I don't know if he's really enjoying himself. Now, his team won, so they had the team celebration. His teammate was Hatton, and he talked about Hatton saying, "I don't think people understand just how good he is." And Terrell Hatton's one of the top 20 golfers in the world. But he was really annoyed by those drones.
These guys all seem to, or a lot of these guys get annoyed by the drones, but sorry, but they're going to continue to deal with them. I mean, it's going to only continue to get more and more a part of all sports coverage, but especially golf because of what it allows you to do. The shots you can get from drones are just, I mean, it's just that they're going to continue to use more and more of them as we go along.
Yeah, you got to accept what it is. And especially on that tour, which is a little different, that there's going to be things like that. There's going to be some more rowdiness out there. There's going to be that music that you're going to hear. But I think most of those guys are comfortable with that. They're wearing the shorts. They're wearing matching team outfits. It's just a different style of golf altogether. But it was something I wanted to experience that they were in Nashville, and they're coming back next year to just at least be there one time just to see what it was all about. From the world of Major League Baseball, the Cubs unveiling Ryan Sandberg's statue yesterday afternoon, and then they played last night. But Mr. Sandberg, on the 40th anniversary of the Sandberg game that Bob Costas coined, but he hit a 2-run home run in the 9th and then a 2-run home run in the 10th. In that game 40 years ago was the Sandberg game. 10-time All-Star, 9-time Golden Glover. And how many statues does that make now out in front of Wrigley?
Ernie Banks, Ron Santo, Fergie Jenkins, Harry Carey, and Sandberg, I think it is.
Billy Williams?
Yeah, I guess, yeah, Billy. I think that's it.
Is that it? 6?
I think that's right.
Beautiful statues when I went up to Wrigley Field a couple of times, but now Sandberg's statue is out there.
And then in the game, old Edwin Diaz.
Old Eddie Diaz.
Trying to cheat a little bit. Or at least that's what the umpires believe, as he got kicked out of the game before he got to throw a pitch. When his hand was too sticky, according to the umpires. It was funny, actually. When the first umpire checks him and just kind of starts laughing, and he calls the other umpire over, the crew chief over, and he looks at it, kind of feels it. He's like, yeah, no. If this is not acceptable, you're gonna have to. You're done. And they had a good camera angle of his hand.
They had a little dot of where the stickiness was coming from, right? Is that what he was doing? Was touching that little dark spot?
His glove didn't have anything on it. It was his hand.
I meant on his hand.
His whole hand looked like it was covered in stuff.
Oh, see, I couldn't tell when I saw the I just saw a still photo, and they had it circled, like somebody had the thing circled, and it was like a round spot. So I thought, how can you put the whole? How can you expect to get away with that?
He claims it's just sweat and rosin, but they said it was just It was too sticky. They the crew chief said, I've done 1,000 of these. That was just he clearly didn't believe it was just sweat and rosin that could make it that sticky. So, he's got the 10-game suspension. It's automatic. Now whether he's going to appeal it or not, I don't know. I don't know how you win it again. It's your word against them trying to claim that no, it was just sweat and rosin, and they're saying it isn't. So I don't know how you win the appeal because there's no way to prove it one way or another. But yeah, it was immediate. There was the first guy was like, oh, no, this is clearly too sticky. And then the second guy came over and immediately, but they did say there was nothing on the glove. There was nothing anywhere else that they found. It was just the fact that his hand was too sticky.
Well, the next thing you know, the umpire is going to be smelling the hand or the glove, not just looking at it, not just feeling it. They're going to start to smell it. Because it may smell different.
Oh, one of the umpires literally did smell.
Oh, did they really?
After he touched his hand, you could see he touched the hand, and then he smells his hand to see it to try and see, I guess, what it smelled like.
That's pretty weird.
It is, but they all have different smells.
But at least he didn't tell him.
Smells different.
At least he didn't tell him to give me your hand and smell his hand. He touched it and then used his hand. If it really was let me get a whiff of that. Put your hand up here. I need to get a little whiff of your hand.
It's the old scratch and sniff. Remember those things? You scratch it and sniff. They smell like raspberry or blueberry. This one smelled like rosin and sweat. For goodness sakes.
Whether you say it or not, it's still weird.
It is strange. But it's all strange. Hunter Goodman, our good friend of the show, the former Memphis standout, Arlington High School standout, 4 home runs in his last 7 games, going into yesterday. So he's gotten a little bit hot. I think he just got over the Mendoza line. Still a struggle for the most part, but now starting to make a lot more contact. And when Goodman makes contact, it usually goes a long distance. We also had the game between it was one of those games for Goodman. It was the Rockies and the Nats. And this was Saturday night. Game tied at 7. And the Nats pitcher with the bases loaded and 3 balls gets called for a pitch clock violation. Ball 4, walks in the run. It's the first time in the history of the game that a game is won in a walk-off fashion because of a pitch clock violation.
I mean, you have to be a complete idiot as a pitcher. I mean, the clock is right there. I don't understand how you can possibly take I don't know how you take any pitch clock violations. But how you could possibly take one in that situation, you have to be just an absolute idiot.
Yeah, that is a strange way to lose a game. Strange way to lose a game. And one other thing before we take our next break, from the Copa America, the United States beat Bolivia 2-0 in the opener. For all you soccer fans out there, Christian Pulisic with a goal and an assist. Town Village Audubon Park is senior living in today's world. Located at 950 Cherry Road, just off Park Avenue, they're offering more options to fit your needs more than ever before. They are dedicated to the long-term satisfaction and the quality of life for their residents. All they ask is that you're 55 years of age or older. Give them a call, set up a tour of the facilities, 901-537-0002, or go online to townvillageaudubonpark.com. Independent living, short-term respite stay available, monthly options as well. Great event schedule, activities galore. Everything you need to continue to enjoy life to its fullest. All the modern amenities and services that you need for yourself or for a loved one. Monthly rental with no buy-in. Apartments include full kitchen, washer and dryer, all-inclusive resort-style dining with multiple venues, bi-weekly housekeeping, outpatient therapy. They have a terrific community social area that features a fitness center, home theater, game rooms, indoor pool, whirlpool, bistro, fruit stand, 24-hour pantry, 5 landscape courtyards, resident gardening areas, dog park, gated parking, and so much more. Town Village Audubon Park for your golden years, folks. 950 Cherry Road, just off Park Avenue. Give them a call. Set up a tour today at 901-537-0002 or go online to townvillageaudubonpark.com. You're tuned in to Sports 56 Mornings with Greg. Oh, I'm getting the stop sign. I'm getting the stop sign.
Yes.
Not yet? No break yet?
Not quite.
Okay.
Hold that second. Do not come to third. By the way, on Scotty Scheffler, his season this year, just if this was his first year on tour, I think he would be 70th on the career money list. But he is 7th, along with his 6 wins this year. 6 wins, 2 seconds, a third, a fifth, a sixth, an eighth, and a 10th.
It's incredible. Well, look, the PGA Tour had to counter what LIV was doing and what they continue to do. And as the players complained about the money, they said the money was there all the time, and apparently it was, or they found other revenue streams, because all of a sudden now you have these elevated tournaments. And that's a lot of money that's at stake for a small field, not unlike LIV, with no cut, not unlike LIV. And now you have guys that are winning, and if you are steady in the top 10, you're going to make an awful lot of money. And by doing so, those players are more apt to stay where they are. Now, some may just be completely against LIV or the Saudis, whatever the case may be. But if it was strictly a financial move, then maybe you're more apt to stay because of the financial benefits that you now have in the tour, which you maybe didn't have in the past. You certainly had opportunities, but not as much as you did. John Rahm still left because the money was just too good to say no to. But I think just the way he acts and reacts and says things, that he may be, maybe regretting it just a little bit.
A texter of the Sissy's Log Cabin listener line says, LIV golf is so much more fun to watch. I'll take golf but louder over Hush Y'all every day of the week. There's only 4 tournaments that should be serious, and that's the majors.
They need to come together. They need to figure something out for the future of golf. And I understand what the texter's saying. It was a fun atmosphere. It certainly was. I mean, I still like tradition. But yeah, I like the fact that it's not just hush y'all. It's not just quiet. It's out there and having a good time. It's all about having a good time. We have a coaching announcement in the NBA. A head coach is headed to Cleveland. We'll tell you who that is when we return. You're tuned in to Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
June. It's wedding season.
It is.
Or as I like to call it, free Central Barbecue Month.
Who's what now?
Well, not that I don't enjoy weddings. I do, especially the ones that I can tell are going to be a disaster. But what I love about weddings is that so many people choose Central Barbecue to cater the food at the reception.
You root for marriages to fail?
Not exactly root. I just enjoy drama and free barbecue. I like to sit there and enjoy my plate of Central Barbecue with beans and slaw and wait for things to blow up.
At the reception?
Ideally. I mean, I won't be around to see it otherwise. Plus, free Central Barbecue.
Rick's Powder Coating for a beautiful finish every time. Rick's Powder Coating specializes in automotive, ornamental, residential, and industrial coating. With 2 conveyor lines and the largest batch ovens in the Mid-South, Rick's can accommodate all of your powder coating needs. Locally owned and operated since 2002, Rick's Powder Coating will customize a beautiful finish just for you. Drop by or call to see how Rick's Powder Coating can bring color to your life. 901-367-2771 or rickspowdercoating.com.
Hi, this is Troy Fiveash, owner of Fiveash Roofing. In these uncertain economic times, there are so many things as a contractor and a business owner that I cannot control. The rising cost of materials, not to mention fuel and transportation costs. In the last 2 years, shingle prices have almost doubled, and commercial materials have doubled. And I don't have to tell you what fuel costs these days. But you know what I can control? How much markup I put on a project. I have always prided myself in knowing I never gouge a customer. But in an effort to ensure my crews have work and my customers are being treated fairly, I have lowered my profit margin, hoping to give you a price you can live with and keeping my crews busy. So if you need a roof or gutters, please give us a call. Fiveash Roofing, fair, honest, and ethical. Fiveash Roofing, a proud sponsor of Tiger Athletics and a member of the Tigers home team. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
That's right, Randy. I've got 2024 Ram 1500 Tradesman Quad Cab 4-wheel drive, $649 a month.
That is awesome. What else you got, Ronnie?
2024 Jeep Gladiator Sport 4-wheel drive, $659 a month.
That's a hot deal on Gladiator Sport. What else you got?
Get super power in a 2023 Charger RT Skyback, $698 a month. That's $8,600 off MSRP.
So drive past the rest and come to the best at Gossett Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Fiat on the bike. Or shop online anytime at Gossett 5,000 down Ram RN 194282 MSRP 48,595 Jeep RL 116172 MSRP 51690 Charger PH 612877 MSRP 55110 Price includes all rebates and incentives and excludes PF 695 Payments include PF 695 All exclude tax title and license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details. Dealer stock only.
When you think about insurance and you want great value without sacrificing great service, I want you to think one place: the Eflin Insurance and the entire Eflin Insurance team. Matt and his group of professionals will access 10 leading companies to find the right home and auto program that fits your budget and your absolute needs. The Eflin Insurance Team, the number 386-GER, 386-4777.
Do you know one of the best things you can do for your employees or family's health? Provide Arctic Clear bottled water. Arctic Clear bottled water is your locally owned and operated bottled water provider. Arctic Clear is 100% natural spring water with free delivery and setup, dependable service, and no long-term contracts. What an easy choice. Call Jeff Manus today, 901-382-2363, or visit arctic-clear.com. Arctic Clear bottled water. Call now, 382-2363. That's 382-2363.
Welcome back, everyone. Adrian Wojnarowski reporting that the Cavaliers are hiring former head coach and last year Golden State assistant Kenny Atkinson as the franchise's next head coach. Sides are working on a contract that's expected to be completed soon. James Borrego, whose name had come up prominently in the Cavaliers search, now appears, according to Woj, to be possibly the front runner for the Detroit job, as Trajan Langdon's now calling the shots in Detroit, and Borrego worked for him, being Langdon, in New Orleans when he was there. So could be something that quick with Detroit, but we know now Cleveland, according to Woj, is hiring Kenny Atkinson.
Yeah, those have been the former head coach guys. Seem to have been the hot names throughout the whole cycle. Now they might both end up with jobs out of this entire cycle.
Yeah, so Atkinson, known for his player development. They got a lot of young players in Cleveland, like Evan Mobley being one of them. It'll be interesting to see what moves the Cavaliers make. As we mentioned earlier, Shams reported that Supermax deal that's out there ready for Donovan Mitchell. Cleveland's an interesting team. They got a lot of talent. It's trying to figure out what works and what they can add to make it work, and now a new coach in Kenny Atkinson.
We got a little bit more of an explanation on the whole, I guess, why Alex Sarr won't work out for Atlanta. And Jonathan Givony, I think it was, or maybe it might have been Jeremy Wu, one of the two, was with Windhorst, and said basically it's not that he doesn't want to play for Atlanta, he would just rather play for Washington. Which is what a statement in 2020. What a world we're living in, that somebody prefers the Washington Wizards to really anybody in the NBA. That's like, have you seen Washington? But apparently it's because, now this is a smart, he realizes,
yes,
easy to step in and play right away. How you could easily step in and be the best player of the team with the Washington Wizards.
Well, two other things. One, he wants to play power forward and not center. But he also, I guarantee you, his agent's like, what the hell you doing, man? You don't want to say that. There's a lot more money being picked number one. Then you don't report. You know, you get maybe force a deal if you want to. I don't know if you want to go down that road, but you get more money being picked one than you do get being picked number two. But, you know, if that's what he wants to do, that's what he wants to do. It's not like it's unprecedented. But he doesn't want to play center. He wants to play power forward. And I'm not sure what the situation was with Atlanta with Capella and the rumors of him maybe being traded. I don't know. Washington, bad franchise. They haven't been in the mix in a long, long time.
Yeah, it's again, I mean, Washington's been awful. Now, again, if you're looking to play right away, certainly Washington offers that opportunity. They could usually play 48 minutes every day, so that gives them that opportunity. And maybe, and I guess, I mean, you could look at it and say, like, you want to be a part of maybe something that can build into that, where Atlanta's kind of, as they have been for a long time, kind of just stuck in a little bit of no man's land, not going, and it's not good, not really good, not really bad. They're just kind of there, playoff type level team that it's hard because of salaries and things like that to really become better. Maybe he thinks that Washington could put together a young nucleus and be on the way up.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Atlanta is strange because they did trade John Collins several years ago to Utah, and the whole DeJounte Murray deal, I love DeJounte Murray, but it didn't make any sense along with Trae Young. Now, last year, Murray was the guy because Young was hurt a lot of the year. And early in this offseason, I kept hearing rumors that, they're going to look to deal Trae Young. Now they're looking to trade DeJounte Murray. Something's going to happen. They are going to make a big trade. But I do believe this whole Sarr thing is rubbing them the wrong way. You got a 7-footer, proven NCAA champion twice over in Klingon. I really feel that Klingon's going to be picked first by Atlanta. I really do.
There also was the report, Jake Fisher of Yahoo Sports in a story, said that rival teams believe Utah is willing to engage in trade talks about Walker Kessler. If they are truly doing that, Zach Kleiman, get on the phone with Utah.
I think he would.
Please. If you could get Walker Kessler, I'm 100% on board with that.
Yeah, Walker Kessler, I like a lot.
Hell, you drafted him. Get him back. That would be like that. I don't understand. Like, I can't imagine that. I don't know why the Jazz would possibly be, unless they're trying to, I mean, get that. They might want a ton for him and might just think maybe they could get a ton for him and whatever. But, like, that makes no sense to me to want to even be listening. I mean, the guy makes, this coming year he'll make less than $3 million. And then the following year, you got the last team option year of the rookie deal is $4.8 million. Like, why would you want to get rid of that salary for the production he can provide you?
The method behind the madness. No, there's always something. There's always something else that we don't know, that we don't hear, that's not rumors out there. What about the rumor yesterday that the Knicks are engaged with, is it Charlotte? No, who are they supposedly engaged in talks with about Mitchell Robinson? That Hartenstein's their guy. They want to sew him up for a long time. They have to make a move with Mitchell Robinson.
I did not see anything on Robinson.
Did you see that, Zach?
I did see it. I don't know what
team was. I can't remember. I don't know why I keep thinking that it was Charlotte. But, Charlotte has its own situation with.
Think about the Wizards?
Maybe it was the Wizards. That's what it was. I think it was the Wizards. Because Charlotte's got. Who's the kid from Alabama that was hurt? Their center that was injured. Williams?
Who?
He's from Duke. That's
Duke.
Mark Williams.
Mark Williams from
Mark
Duke.
Williams from Duke. Yeah, from Duke. Yeah. I mean, he was injured. They got
Ian Begley was the one that said they had that the Wizards had talked.
Yeah.
The Knicks had talks.
By the way, did you see my tweet about the Williams, the name Williams? I looked this up, and there is nearly 100. It's like 94, something like that, but closing in on 100 different guys named Williams, last name Williams, that has played in the NBA. And the percentage of hits on guys named Williams, like that became stars, is very, very low. I mean, you can look at other names where there's plenty of players with the same, the Joneses and the James, and there's a lot higher percentage. The Williams, not great. There are a couple of guys. I think Gus Williams was a hell of a player. I think the original Wizard. Sure, Jason Williams, White Chocolate.
There's been 46 Jason Williams, feels like.
Yes, there's a lot of Jason Williams. They're either, throwing behind the back passes or murdering limousine drivers, whatever the case may be. I kid, folks. But,
also wrecking motorcycles.
Yeah, it's true. The J. Williams. Then, of course, now it's the Jalen Williams. There's a lot of Jalen Williams. But the Williams name is not real synonymous with guys breaking out and being stars. The Grizzlies happen to have two Williams. Zaire hasn't really worked out so far. Who knows with Vince Williams? A guy, the only reason why they're looking at Vince Williams as being an integral part of this team is because they had 1,000 injuries last year, or he never would have got that playing time. And they also have a guy named Gigi Jackson, not a Williams, but a Jackson. There's been a lot of great Jacksons, who, again, wouldn't be in this position if it wasn't for the injuries to see what he's capable of doing, which sometimes it's good. It ruined all of last year, the injuries, but at least the silver lining was you saw some of these guys, what they could do, and others what they can't do. Now, the question is, what kind of moves are you willing to make? And we had Parker Fleming on to talk about that. And it just seems like the Grizzlies have so many different scenarios that I could see happening.
I got a text from a friend who says there's a high percentage of success with guys named Olajuwon.
I'm talking about guys.
So drafted Olajuwon. Find an Olajuwon. Your 100% hit rate.
Yes. Well, I'm talking about obviously a name where there's almost 100 different players. Not talking about one name, but yes, they are absolutely correct. But with the Grizzlies, you had Parker talking about Edey. Out of all these names right now, not knowing what it would take to get, whether it be a trade or in the draft, and be a trade there too, moving up, or taking a player at 9, staying put, taking a player at 9 who would be available. That's a center. I'm talking about centers now around. Who would you, out of guys like Mitchell Robinson, maybe you can get in that sweepstakes. We've heard names like Jared Allen, which I don't think is possible. Nick Claxton, which, again, we heard the rumors about him on Friday. Klingon, who I don't think will be available at 9. Zach Edey, all the rest of those centers. Clint Capella in a trade. Who would you like the Grizzlies to go after within reason, not knowing what they would have to give up?
Walker Kessler. If there's any possibility of getting him, Walker Kessler, without question.
So that would be your number one because of he's that good of a player that helped this team out, or because of, are you looking at it as a general manager would look at it, the contract?
Both. Like that, you're getting a player that fills what you need at an unbelievably low price for the next 2 years.
So economically sound, solid player, but you still think
they can get you out of the tax, depending on what the trade might be. You could get out of the tax and add your center. Absolutely.
You think he's, though, a strong enough player at that position as opposed to some of these other veteran centers that may cost you a lot more to go after?
Yes, I think I like Walker Kessler a lot. I mean, he's a great shot blocker.
Fair enough.
Great defensive guy. He does have some offensive skill too. He can score. He can actually step out and shoot it a little bit. It wouldn't even be a question.
Okay.
There's not even anybody close to him. Certainly not Zach Edey on my list as far as that is concerned.
Oh, you like about to poke the beehive that is Zach Edey's fans, man. You better be careful.
I mean, if you trade down to 20 or something like that, then maybe you could consider Zach Edey. There's not a chance in hell I'd take Zach Edey at number 9.
Okay, right now, if I gave you over under lottery pick, Zach Edey, is he a lottery pick or is he not a lottery pick?
I have no idea whether he'll go to the lottery. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes at the end of the lottery.
Zach?
I think it's outside the lottery.
I think he will be a lottery pick, and it'll be late, like you said. I think there's going to be somebody out there that just looks at 7'5" monster of a man and decides, you know what? Why not? Why not? I mean, there's okay, are we sold, absolutely sold on Reed Shepherd's getting his shot off in the NBA?
I'm not.
No. And Zach, I heard you
no
in the other room. No. I mean, when I hear people go, he's number 3, definitely. Now, there's been a good run on the foreign players, so I don't doubt that Sarr will be really good, that Risha Shear, that he's going to be really good. But I don't know. And then those other guys, Topic has been hurt. I'm not sold. I'm not sold on Dillingham. I'm not sold on Cody Williams. I'm not sold on any of those guys. Holland, Connect, name them. I like Castle a lot. I do like Castle a lot. But again, that whole dilemma, whether you draft for need or draft best player available. I can understand the best player available happens to be a 6'2" point guard, which you don't need, but he's that much better than everybody else. Okay, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. But nobody stands out in this draft. So for me, if everything's pretty equal, I'm going with a big. I'm taking a big. Now, if Klingon's off the board, which he should be, and Sarr's off the board, which he will definitely be, at number 9, that's when it gets hairy. That's when I would trade down. Unless they have somebody else who they are sold on that's not a center that they think is that much better than everybody else. I just don't know who it would be in this. I'm not saying it's a bad draft, or I'm not saying there can't be stars. It's just they had to do a pretty darn good job in evaluating and then identifying who that star would be or stars would be in this particular draft.
If they stay at 9 and Dalton Connect is there, that to me, that would probably be the guy.
I wouldn't have a problem with it. I'm just saying I'm not so sure that he's a surefire,
like Parker said,
terrific rotation NBA player.
I think he's a plug-and-play guy, knock down shots. I think he could step right in the NBA and play. Even on a winning team, I think he's a guy who could step in and play minutes for you at the NBA level. And at number 9, if he's there, I don't know that there's. I don't think there will be anybody else, any of the other guys available at number 9 that I would like better than Dalton Connect.
Okay.
The clock is ticking at Genesis Diamonds. Their amazing offer comes to an end at the end of this week. That's right, the end of June. That's this Sunday. You get up until then to take advantage of 5 years, 0 interest financing. That's right, 5 years with 0 interest. Pay nothing down. Spread those payments out over 5 years, but you got to do it by the end of this week, and it's on anything in the store. How about a 3-carat lab-grown center diamond, just $99 a month? That stunning designer engagement ring, starting as low as $67 a month. Any item in the store, 5 years, 0 interest financing is available. From beautiful engagement rings to wedding bands to necklaces and earrings and whatever it is, whatever you're looking for. Maybe even the pre-owned Rolex watches. All of it is available with 0 interest over 5 years. It's the best way you can buy right now and make your dollars go that much further at Genesis Diamonds, Poplar and Perkins Extended. It's on approved credit. You can get more details at genesisdiamonds.com.
Ricky O'Donnell does a nice job at evaluating the draft prospects, both internationally and collegiately for SB Nation. Has his list. He only has 3 guys in Tier 1, and that's Ron Holland, Alex Sarr, and Nikola Topic. He has the aforementioned Dalton Connect, number 18 overall. He has Klingon, the number 8 pick overall. It's not a mock draft, just the 8th best prospect. And he has, what's interesting, Devin Carter, number 9, best overall prospect. Even better than Stefan Castle, 10, and Zachary Richesher at number 11. By the way, where does he have Zach Edey? He has him at number 19. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll go full circle back to our lead story of the show, and that was the Tigers football team and the huge commitment from a 4-star quarterback by the name of Antoine Hill Jr. You're tuned in to Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Join the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin, for Wolo and Friends. Weekday mornings from 10 to 11, here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Buster's Butcher at 199 South Highland Street in Memphis. We're a full-service butcher shop offering a curated selection of quality meats, cheeses, prepared foods, and more. At Buster's, our skilled butchers are also experienced chefs. They'll be delighted to guide you on selecting, preparing, and cooking our fine selection of products. We're like nothing else you can find in Memphis. Learn more at bustersbutcher.com and come see why every cut counts at Buster's Butcher.
Locally owned and operated for over 40 years, Automatic Gates Construction tailors custom gate solutions for all your residential, commercial, and industrial needs, including repairs, maintenance, and installation. Automatic Gates Construction specializes in designing and installing automatic gates and fencing that seamlessly blends security, functionality, and aesthetic appeal. Elevate the safety and efficiency of your property with a premium gate solution. Automatic Gates Construction at myautomaticgates.com.
Don't miss a second. NWSL action. Every club, every matchup. From kickoff to equalizers. Every PK. Every save. The best players in the world play here. Find where to watch at nwslsoccer.com/watch. NWSL. We play here.
You or someone you know or care about has dealt with a difficult divorce. When facing divorce, you need the attorneys at Rice Law. Nick and Larry Rice lead the firm with 3 generations and 7 decades of experience. Located in Memphis, serving the entire state of Tennessee and North Mississippi. Rice Law is who you need to call. Simple or difficult divorce, they know how to handle it. Call Rice Law at 901-526-6701, or for more information, visit them at aboutdivorce.com. That's aboutdivorce.com.
It's the Kia Summer Sticker Sales Event. It's going strong at Gossett Kia on the Pike. Are you ready to ride in your new Kia with 41 MPG Highway? We Gossett! 2024 Kia Forte LXS, $199 a month, $34.99 to a signing. How about 282 miles of EPA estimated range with new 2023 Kia EV6 Win, $249 a month. And 2024 Kia Telluride LX3, $57 a month, both $39.99 due at signing, all 24-month lease. And get peace of mind with Kia's 10-year 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. Call Bobby J. He's ready to put you in your new Kia today. Gossett Kia, 1900 Covington Pike, online, KiaCovingtonPike.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
Rebates and incentives. Lease includes PF 695, 650 acquisition fee, EV6 561 0964, MSRP 50,200, Telluride RG 510 849, MSRP 38305, Forte LXS RE 780 169, MSRP 21820. Must finance through Hyundai. Excludes tax title and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 6/30/2024 with approved credit dealer stock only.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by Jenkins Floors and More. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
We had a caller earlier talking about the fact that we were talking a lot today, discussing a lot today about Tigers basketball. And when we have the big quarterback news for football and the anticipation for this upcoming football season. And yeah, I mean, the caller was right, but we did open up the show at 7:05 or 7 o'clock talking about Antoine Hill. In fact, we will have Antoine Hill. We're scheduled to have him on the program tomorrow. And I'm going to get back to that here in a second. But Tigers basketball still resonates. And when Penny comes out and says the things he said, it was going to be a topic today. So even though it's June, if something like that happens, Memphis basketball always seems to shoot to the top as far as what people are interested in and how polarizing sometimes it can be.
Yeah, and I mean, to be honest, like the negative, the drama, that type of stuff often gets much more attention and much more conversation than
the positive.
The positive stuff, anyway.
Yeah.
And while this is a huge commitment for the University of Memphis to get a player like this caliber, in the end, it's still a commitment of a player that we have no idea how good they will be at the college level, and they're not going to be playing here, and they're not playing here this season. It's not going to be until next season anyway, so it's well over a year away before he even has a chance to step the foot on the football field for Memphis.
Right, but I want to talk a little bit more about that in just a moment. I do want to tell you folks about All-Star Chevrolet in Olive Branch. Right now, all the new Silverados, some marked 12% off invoice. Not all of them, but a lot of them marked. I'm still trying to figure out how are they going to make money? 12% off invoice. Financing as low as 1.9. No payments for 90 days on these Silverados, but also on Trailblazers, Equinox, Tahoes. Nothing beats that family trip in a beautiful new Tahoe. You get an extra $500 off if you're a college student, grad, military, first responder, healthcare worker, teacher. No matter what pre-owned you're looking for, you can find an Olive Branch at the All-Star Chevy's All-American Pre-Owned Sale. All the Jeeps, the Ram trucks, even a Ram ProMaster cargo van. They got the 4Runners and much, much more. And at All-Star Chevrolet in Olive Branch, you can test drive them all. Bring All-Star any vehicle you want to sell. Get a check today. Everyone at All-Star Chevy in Olive Branch wishes you a very happy and safe 4th of July as we get set to celebrate our country's Independence Day. Don't miss All-Star Chevy's All-American Sale in Olive Branch, or check out all the vehicles at allstarautogroup.com. So it's huge news because he is he officially the highest rated recruit that Memphis has ever gotten?
Yes.
He's a 4-star
I
quarterback.
saw something else that said he was not.
Yeah, that's why.
Or the
that's
highest
why I
rated
said-
quarterback.
Yeah, highest rated quarterback. But
Yeah, that's what the quarterback. I thought he was the highest rated recruit ever.
At first, I
he's
thought that too
like
because somebody
third.
said that. Yes, but he's way up there. He's
and
way
if they get the offensive lineman teammate, he'll actually be higher than him because I
Yeah.
think he's actually rated higher.
Yeah, Peyton Joseph is the offensive lineman who said he will announce, I think, either by July 4th or on July 4th, and he will announce between Memphis and Florida State. How about that? Because you had Antoine Hill Jr. choosing between Memphis and Florida. Now, there were a lot of other schools, over 30 schools or more, that were looking for the services of this quarterback. 6'5", 215, pocket pass, originally had committed to Colorado. And as you guys said, 15th best quarterback in the class of 2025, top quarterback in Georgia. And they've produced some quarterbacks over the years. His numbers last year were staggering. He'll have one more year to get ready. I wouldn't be surprised if he's an early enrollee. I guess we'll talk to him about that tomorrow. But there's a chance it will be a battle. There will be others vying for that job. But if he's as good as advertised, he comes in, Seth is gone, carries the baton, marches on for Memphis. It's a great get for Ryan Silverfield and company to be able to get a player of this magnitude.
Yeah, and again, hopefully he's here and has for his whole college career and puts up huge numbers. And the reality of it is that's very rare. But yeah, hopefully he is everything that he's expected to be and can come in, earn the job right away, and be great right away, and have a 3 to 4 year career at the University of Memphis, putting up massive numbers.
Once again, a sneaky good Monday. Got a couple of the championships on the line. The College Baseball World Series in Omaha, where Tennessee is now a heavy favorite to knock off Texas A&M in the All-SEC battle. Game 3 of their 3-game set in Omaha, Nebraska at the College Baseball World Series. That will be tonight. And then also tonight, it's Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals from Sunrise, Florida, home of the Florida Panthers. That series all even at 3. All the momentum with Edmonton, but they're going to have to win one more time on the road in Florida to win the Cup. That has happened once, has it not, in hockey?
1942.
1942.
Toronto Maple Leafs.
Look at you, having looked up that information.
It's the
Very
only
nice.
time in any sport that anybody's done it in a finals, a championship series.
Yeah, we've seen teams come back in other rounds from 3-0 deficits, but this would be the Stanley Cup final. I'm hoping for overtime, nothing like playoff hockey, Stanley Cup final, overtime, Game 7. Hard to beat that. So that's on the line tonight, a College Baseball World Series title. They'll be doing a little dogpiling in Omaha. And then, of course, the Cup runneth over sometime tonight in Sunrise, Florida for one of those teams.
Fleet Feet is the place to go to get those running shoes. You want to make sure you get shoes that are just right for you. Go see the folks at Fleet Feet at either one of their 2 locations in the Laurelwood Shopping Center in East Memphis or out in Collierville at Poplar and Houston Levy. They take a look at the way you run, the way you walk, and they'll get you fitted with shoes that are just right for you. Plus all your other gear they've got you taken care of at those 2 locations of Fleet Feet. Maybe it's shorts or shirts or socks or whatever it is. They got everything you need, and they're all about the runners and the running community at Fleet Feet. Also online, fleetfeetmemphis.com, and on social media where they keep you up to date with things they've got going on. For all you runners out there, go see the folks at Fleet Feet.
And one final note, yesterday, another meeting between the Indiana Fever and the Chicago Sky and the WNBA. That means, again, Caitlin Clark going up against Angel Reese, and Reese was absolutely tremendous. 25 points, 16 rebounds, and the Sky, for the first time, I think, in 3 games this season, beat the Indiana Fever. Clark at 17 points and a franchise record 13 assists, but she's being criticized for not taking the possible game-winning shot in the loss, 88-87. She said she would always defer to her teammates and find the best shot available. Does it sound like somebody from years past? Remember the criticism that LeBron James used to get for deferring to find the best shot available. And then after that, LeBron said, I'll take those shots. Well, we'll see if that will change for her as her future, as her career moves along down the road. We want to thank Parker Fleming for joining us on the program today. Also, big thanks to you folks. Great calls, great texts. Really appreciate the input. Tomorrow, Again, scheduled to be joined by Antoine Hill Jr. Austin Chin will be in for Mickey Barker tomorrow as we'll have our weekly golf segment. We'll have Humdinger's Trivia. It all gets underway starting bright and early at 7 a.m. It'll be draft eve as we get set for Wednesday and Thursday, rounds 1 and 2 of the NBA draft. Waldo and Friends on Sports 56 is coming up next. For Eli Savoy and for Zach Boyd, I'm Greg Gaston. Have a great day, everybody.